Hey, it's Tyler Richardson, and we are live at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District. Jose, but what we got whipping up today, man?
Man, today's special, we have the French toast turkey melt, kind of a special sandwich. It really didn't put us on the map, but it did put a star by our name.
Daily specials every day at the award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop. And if you don't believe me, ask Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. I'm buying them at the Bakery District today.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barling.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, the remnants from Francine moving our way, so we will see an increasing chance of rainfall, the heaviest off to the south, but everything moves north as we head through the afternoon. A high today in the middle to upper 70s. A chance of rain again tonight. Overnight low will drop down into the low 60s, and then a chance of mainly morning rain on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com. We got a good one tonight. You got to take it here and have the perspective. Man, I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
For one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning from the 4Y in Summit. We are at Allen's Grocery celebrating their 70th anniversary. And man, I don't know what we're going to get into today, but it feels like these next 3 hours are going to feel more like an hour and a half. We already got one of the lumber trucks moving by, customers coming in and out, enjoying Allen's famous meat and everything else you can get inside. One of the greatest, I would call it a neighborhood grocery store, but it feels like this serves the entire area. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, my partner, Christian Johnston producing for the moment back at our ESPN Arkansas headquarters today, and welcome into the parking lot at Allen's Grocery, where Matt is standing right next to me here, and we've already been fed quite a bit.
Oh, my goodness. Happy Thursday. Man, just special group of people here. I love this part of the country, this part of the state. Man, every time you come here, it's just free. It's a place where You can leave your car doors unlocked. You can leave your house unlocked.
I reminded myself of that.
Everybody. It's just a slow. I love it. This is probably where I should be residing in this part of the state. It's got me written all over it.
I thought the exact same thing that you thought when I reparked my car after I brought the equipment in because I wanted to make sure the customers had a little bit more room here. So I park it across the street. I guess you'd call that Allen's auxiliary parking lot. And it's just a reflex.
Satellite campus.
Well, that's right. It's just a reflex. I just automatically will lock my car when I walk away from it. It's like when I sit in the driver's seat, first thing that happens is the seatbelt goes on. There's nothing I can do to stop that happening. But as I reached for my key to push the lock button, I thought to myself, what is wrong with you? You really think you got to do that here? Plus, what do you got in that stupid car that anybody wants anyway? It's just a bunch of old potato chip wrappers. No reason anybody wants anything like that. But you're right. And, man, it's been great. We've been up here since, about 6 o'clock at night yesterday?
Oh, yeah. We got to go we didn't get to get out on the river, but your buddy, the river guide, how cool was that? Got to hang out with him and just to hear his stories about being out here and what he does and going about it. That was just – and it was so serene. I don't know what the correct term was because I'm sure there's 1,000 terms to describe.
I think you hit it.
But it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, serene and awesome and tasty, and it all worked to them. And we might not have gotten out on the water to fish, but we were practically on the water at the
We walked down there.
restaurant.
Yeah, man, it was so cool.
Yeah, it was peaceful. Gray skies are coming overhead, though. I guess this is part of – wow, this is a really scary hurricane that's coming over north central Arkansas right now. This is frightening for the moment. I know there'll be a lot of heavy rain at some point in parts of the state, but they've given us a nice little tent to make sure that if it does start getting wet, we won't get too wet. But you can tell when people are big fans of the show when they give you your very own Wi-Fi network that's named after the show. They literally just put in this internet connection for us for today and for no other reason. And I guess it's all like I'm not in the business of giving out my passwords or anything, but the passwords are our names. Like they literally made this for us. The password, you could tell who the real star of the show here is based on the password.
Well,
Matt and Phil are great.
They just went in alphabetical order. That's all that was.
They went with taller first.
Yeah. We all, and I got this shiv. So if Phil gets out of, thanks for Justin.
It's a great segue.
Bringing this by, but if Phil gets out of, anybody gets out of line, that's pretty sharp right there, huh?
Matt's already been handed a weapon by a listener.
Now I feel like Bubba when he has his baseball bat.
That's right.
He's got to have something.
You fit in. You fit in now. That's exactly right. Yeah, what happened? So he looked familiar for a moment. He brought you a football card? What was the card?
It was a 1-of-1 jersey
you looked
worn.
more interested in that than it was just the regular card.
Well, I remember the day I took the picture for it. It was the rookie symposium. It's all the first-round picks and a couple, second-round guys, and you go up there and you're all kind of – I was with Adam Pac-Man Jones, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Going by alphabetical name, going in order. So we were going from scene to scene to scene to scene, doing the things, and it's just all different things. And one of them was you put a jersey on, and then they take your, they put it into the card. His was a 1-of-1. So there's not even,
Wow.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. So
Here
it
at
was
the 4Y of all places, too, at Allen's Grocery.
I don't know. I don't have my Beckett Weekly to see the arrow going up or down. I think it's, but what are you going to do?
Well, I saw you get excited about it when you saw it. It's like people show you cards of yourself all the time, I'm sure. But that one, I could tell just by your reaction. This one was a little bit different than any other.
Most of the time, if you show me a football card, I can tell you what game it was, what was the score at the time. Like you used to is as you get older, but you remember, you're like, oh, I remember that. That was against Cleveland when this was going on, and I did, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, and all right, so then he handed you you just told exactly what it was.
And as a good artist,
it's a shark,
signs his work.
It's a shark tooth shiv that Matt is holding next to me, which would work exactly in a place that
Keep
bet
that
you
in
would
the
think.
car.
There's no metal on it.
Keep that in the car.
Goodness gracious! I think I might have to move over to my left a little bit during the show. There's a good thing like you said, I'm used to Bubba standing next to me with the bat above, basically above me, almost threatening me with the thing on a day-by-day basis during baseball season. So in this case, I know how to handle it. You just don't poke the bear too much.
There you go.
It's going to be a lot of fun today on Halftime. If you've already been able to tell, I guess we will talk plenty of Arkansas football college football as we're a couple of days away from. Well, there are some games tomorrow. I think there's actually some halfway decent games tomorrow in college football for a Friday, which still doesn't feel
Arizona,
right.
Kansas State. I think is that the one that's two top 25 ranked teams. That might be. Arizona has a receiver, a running back, and a court, maybe even two receivers that are actually guys that have a chance to play on Sunday. So I know they have a couple skill guys that can go. And then Kansas State's kind of been one of the best teams in the Big 12, even though they've lost their OC to A&M. They still have talent. They've turned the corner, I guess, where you expect out of Kansas State, you expect them to win 8 or 9 games each year.
Isn't that a little weird to think? Well, it shouldn't be weird to think about. They did that under Bill Snyder year after year.
And then they kind of dropped off. He came back, and then since he came back that second time, it seems like they've been able to hold serve.
It's once you start expecting Kansas to win 8 or 9 games a year, which they're pretty close to doing, just about. Yeah. That would be the one that jumps out a little bit. You know that's one of only 2 matchups where both teams are top 25 this weekend. Everybody's got a bingo card nowadays. Nobody had Boston College and Mizzou as a top 25 matchup, but that's what you got. 24 against number 6. Everybody thought Mizzou would be ranked, but I don't think anyone thought BC would win their first 2.
New coach at Boston College, Bill O'Brien. They must have taken heed to what he's saying, because he's going to be a physical coach. You know they're going to be attention to detail. You know the type of coach he is, and he's bounced around a little bit and having varied amounts of success at different stops. But yeah, you get an NFL guy that comes in and kind of straightens him out a little bit, and man, nobody expected Boston College to be 2-0 this far into the season.
Well, we were hoping Arkansas would be 2-0, but I think a lot of people expected they'd be 1-1 going into this UAB matchup. Still a little tough to take what happened last Saturday, but we've tried to move past it. I know the team's already done the same, and they're a 24.5-point favorite on Bet Saracen against UAB. I could see that. I could see that happening. I think they're going to score a lot of points. Sam Pittman made a point at the end of the coach's show last night that you heard right here on your ESPN Arkansas affiliate, that what is important is to continue to dominate the line of scrimmage the way that they did against Oklahoma State, to continue that, because I think if you start playing football like that on the first 3 weeks, which they did against UAPB, did against Oklahoma State for the most part, you do it 3 weeks in a row, you have instilled your team identity before you've even played an SEC game. And if that identity is line of scrimmage on both sides, you may end up surprising a few more people.
That's right. Almost like their mantra. What's it going to be? We're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. And I want to see them continue to get better and work on their depth. And we know that you got to be strong with your ones, but you got to have some twos that can play. It's just the nature of the SEC. And while it's hot, when you get November, your ones, if they're healthy, you can play all day when it's 60 degrees. But if it's 100, which is the weather's supposed to be nice, it should be a little cooler by about 10, 12 degrees than it was last Saturday. So just looking for him to have fun and fly around and continue. I really think that as a quarterback in a new offense, you're going to see his progression each week get a little more comfortable, a little better, and kind of what Bobby Petrino said, how they're still figuring out each other. And something Coach Nutt and Coach Wiki used to always do with me, and I'm sure with all their quarterbacks, but it's what do you like on 3rd and 5 this week? What do you feel comfortable with this? And then so you just have that
from the quarterback.
But you have that, yes, you have that back and forth, and it's just one thing that's like, if the quarterback doesn't feel good about it, we got to find out why, or then we can't run it, and so we got to go to something else. So just that constant communication, I think both parties have continued to grow.
I like the idea of that. If you trust somebody to run your offense as a quarterback, you got to trust his thoughts too at the same time, or at least his input. Speaking of domination, I'm going to dominate the rest of the bowl. This bowl of jambalaya.
Oh my goodness!
That our buddy
Clay Henry knows what's
over
up.
here.
He knows where to stop by before coming over here. Yeah,
he's getting a bowl of it from our, what's his name again? Cooking with Cajun is his name. You know about him on YouTube probably. He's got his MF cornbread, which is on the box. It says my favorite cornbread, but the M and the F are much larger than any other letters here on the front.
They're missing a U in favorite.
Yeah. Well, he knows how to market. He knows how to market to multiple groups at the same time.
Because you could put the U in that color right there, and that would nobody asked me though.
It's delicious though. But if you had to explain it, I don't know if I got it to begin with, right?
Well, I mean, he looks like the Zigzag Man coming down right there. What was the True Detective? The very first season, you know, they had to go in the backwoods of Louisiana to find the guy that had the beard. I mean, he could be on. Yeah.
I saw a couple guys like that hiking on AR-14 on the way over here from Gaston's.
Beard game in this part of the country
you fit in,
is
man.
on point.
You fit
man,
in.
Every third dude has just a gangster beard.
Yeah, I
man.
gotta tell
They
you
got it
right.
going
Like
on.
you only have the sixth best beard in
I
this
know.
parking lot
I'm out
right
of the
now.
top 10. Easy walked in, and there's only 80 people that live here, and I'm out of the top 10 already.
It was top 3 until I took a look up to the rest of the parking lot. All of a sudden, there's like 4 or 5 of them that show up out of the blue.
You got to start getting. See, I'm getting a little color on the sides. You start getting a little color into it. Well, I don't see your man, Jamie. He's got it. You know, what do you get people without hair? You know, you get them hair. You know, it's what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little work on that as we go throughout this here. So halftime today, as you can tell, a little bit different than usual. We do want you to come out if you're around Summit, Yellville, Flippin, Bull Shoals. You're listening on our 104.3 ESPN Arkansas affiliate. You can come out to Allen's Grocery and come over to the parking lot. Say hi. They got jambalaya. They're going to have there's a giant beef tenderloin on the way, too, like in 45 minutes. So if you walk away from this place hungry, you're starving yourself on purpose for the day. So halftime, we'll have Clay Henry on. We'll have Brett Dolan in our third hour, Bob Holt second hour, and in just a moment, we are going to be visiting with the voice of the UAB Blazers, David Crane. So we'll learn a little bit about UAB after the break. Want to remind you, though, chicken tenders today till 2 p.m. at Allen's Grocery. They are known for the best meat in the area. These chicken tenders, just 70 cents each up until 2 o'clock. We'll be giving away tickets to see Pam Tillis and the Hog Game on Saturday. 70th anniversary celebration underway here at Allen's Grocery. And we'll come back with the voice of UAB Blazers Athletics, David Crane, in just a moment on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
His new glasses. Looks like Clark Kent. This guy is dominating offensively. Dean, he's also a quality guy. We had more fun talking with him. He was a walk-on. Now he's an All-American. He also is brilliant. He's a great student. Last week he got his MBA. The guy is just what top football is all about.
I've been called everything. Clark Kent, Kurt Rambis, Drew Carey, you name it, I've been called it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
What makes Crabtree RV Center different? First, we are a fourth-generation family-owned business taking pride in making your family's dreams come true. No corporate mentality here. Second, we've been in business for 74 years, founded in 1950 here in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas area. We are not going anywhere. What does that mean for our customers? A family feel with no corporate hidden fees. The reassurance that we will be here for generations to come, and knowledgeable salespeople who want to pick the right RV for your family to make lifetime memories in. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Pay attention. This happens fast. Routine, scheduled, maintenance. You know it's coming one day, but that day's in the future. Then the future comes, and your wallet's not ready for that $250 maintenance. But your forklift is. It needs it. Good thing you're smart. You're buying a used forklift from Medley Equipment Company this summer, and its first planned maintenance will be free because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm branch manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Live at Allen's Grocery in Summit. It's halftime. We'll go right to our hotline here and appreciate some time from David Crane, who is the voice of UAB Blazers Athletics. Of course, the Razorbacks get the Blazers in the home opener in Fayetteville this Saturday at 3:15. David, I appreciate you coming on today. How are you?
Doing well, guys. How are y'all?
Very good, very good. We're already on the road a little bit before the football game here. So first couple of games, I guess, couldn't have gone any differently. One blowout win, one game that did not go so well against ULM. I know that must have been emotional as well, with former coach Bryant Vincent leading the way from Monroe. For Monroe. But what's the mindset for UAB coming in for this game on Saturday?
That's a good question. I would guess Trent Dilfer's sort of wondering the same thing. It was a good debut in the opener against Alcorn State, an inferior opponent. Blazers looked pretty good on defense. At times looks good on offense. Special teams were pretty solid in that one. And then you go to Monroe last weekend, and as you said, it was an emotional game. Bryant Vincent and a lot of connections between the two programs. And so Warhawks were really focused and just outplayed UAB in every phase, offense, defense, and special teams. So I think it was disappointing for Trent Dilfer to lose to Bryant Vincent in that setup, but it was more disappointing just to see the way his team performed in that situation. So it's back to work and not the easiest ways to try to bounce back when you have to go to an SEC team and try and get better. But that's what the Blazers are going to try to do this Saturday.
Hey, David, Matt Jones here. I want to ask you about a former teammate of mine, Alex Mortensen, who's your offensive coordinator now. What are your thoughts on him, and what type of offense, what is his identity? What is he going to try to do as the offensive coordinator?
I would say he probably patterns himself after his old coach and Bobby Petrino, because it's a little bit of everything. It's not just that they go fast all the time. It's not that they fling it all over the yard 50 times a game. They want to run it. They want to be balanced. They've got a very accurate quarterback in Jacob Zeno. They'll come out in a ton of formations, give you a bunch of different looks. They'll run it with their backs. They'll throw it to their tight ends. They'll throw it to the wide. So it's a little bit of everything, and that is sort of what I think of when I think of a Bobby Petrino offense. Of course, Arkansas scoring a ton of points, ton of yards in their first two games, and I'm sure Alex would probably love that comparison to live up to what Coach Petrino's been able to do on that side of the ball.
Yeah, kind of take it's kind of a multiple, kind of take what the defense gives you. Man, how cool is that? When you hear Trent Dilfer talk, he just sounds so poised. He sounds like he's been there before, like there's nothing new. He really handles himself well. Do you see him being at UAB for a handful of years, or do you see him trying to go up in the coaching ranks?
I think right now, I would say he wants to be in Birmingham. He loves Birmingham. His wife, they finally sold their house in Nashville, so she's down here with him now, and I think that makes life a little more enjoyable for him. But he loves food. He loves, I think, good wine, and there's a ton of good restaurants in Birmingham, and so he's really embraced the city. And so because of that, I think I could absolutely see him being at UAB for a considerable amount of time. Would the itch be there if he has success and gets it rolling here and another school maybe up the food chain a little bit comes calling? Wouldn't shock me. But I think for the moment, I think he's happy in Birmingham and is embracing the challenge of trying to get UAB not only back to where it was before, but take it to an even higher level.
I think Birmingham's a great place. I do the Arkansas baseball broadcasts, David, so I go there for the SEC tournament. It's Hoover, but it's Birmingham. I think it's a fabulous place.
Right.
You think of Birmingham, truthfully, it's one of the best football cities in the country, and it doesn't have an NFL team. And it isn't just because of, the connection with Auburn and Alabama being so close. It's the home of the UFL. It's the home of the USFL, or it was. And UAB football kind of fits into that. How does UAB football fit into that? Because I've driven by your stadium. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And that sort of was what everybody felt was the last piece of the puzzle to really propel UAB football to the next level, get them into the American Athletic Conference, get out of Legion Field. It's historic, a lot of great memories at Legion Field, but it's past its prime, and it was time for something else. And so the city built Protective Stadium, and it's UAB's home. It's home of our soccer team. They've had some concerts there. So Birmingham is a football town, as you said. It used to be called and still calls itself the football capital of the South. You see the ratings for college football. Doesn't matter what game necessarily it is. Doesn't matter if it's Alabama or Auburn or whoever. Birmingham's usually at the top of the ratings, most watched football town in America, however you want to call it. So, and UAB's trying to still find its niche, and one way that everybody has tried to do it and say it is, look, if you went to Alabama or if you went to Auburn, that's fine. Root for them, but you can also, if you live in Birmingham, there's no reason you can't have a second team and come root for the Blazers. I'll tell you what, it's a heck of a lot easier to go to a UAB home game than it is an Alabama or Auburn home game. And there's something to be said for convenience. And so hopefully the fans will continue to buy in, support the program, and realize that, you can pull for Alabama or Auburn, and you can still also pull for UAB.
So if as the preseason polls are out, and it just depends on how much stock you want to take in them, but when you're kind of perusing and doing some research, it seemed like Tulane and Memphis were the top dogs in this conference. Realistically, what do you see UAB doing this year? Can y'all make it to 6 wins? Do y'all make a bowl game this year?
That's a good question. Obviously Saturday's going to be tough. I don't think there are a lot of folks that expect UAB to go to Fayetteville and win that game. But after that, first of 2 open days, So a chance to continue, rebounding, recovering, refocusing, whatever term you want to use, because that next game on September 28th is the first conference game, and Navy comes to town, and the first two are at home. It's Navy and Tulane. So if you can take care of business, if you can defend the home turf, especially against Navy, Tulane is one of the picks to win the league or be at the top of the league, so that's going to be tough. But you've got to start with Navy when it comes to conference play. If you can get that one, maybe have a little confidence going into the Tulane game. Who knows what happens there? And then absolutely, I think you got a chance. Is it going to be easy? No. You've got to find a way to win on the road, and that's something that UAB has not been able to do under Trent Dilfer, and he is painfully aware of that fact. So it's coach speak and all that. You got to take it one at a time. You got to play Arkansas first, but then you have a chance to catch your breath, fine tune some things, and then you get the next two at home, and hopefully you can capitalize on that part of the schedule.
A couple of the Arkansas players the other day on Tuesday were asked if they knew about Trent Dilfer. They just knew he was the UAB coach. They didn't know he was a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Ultimate competitor, right? Yeah.
I just found that so funny. What is how has he helped elevate the program? So, stepping up into the American Conference after Conference USA, you guys have been one of the dominant programs in that conference. The American is a step up. How is having a guy like Trent Dilfer, not coached in college before, but man, I loved when he was a commentator. He really knows the sport in and out. How has that helped?
Yeah, it's funny. I would guess the three of us are somewhere around the same age. So, well, of course we know who Trent Dilfer is. He won a Super Bowl, but unfortunately, we're probably a little older than we think we are. And would like to be. And so, yeah, you talk to an 18 or 19-year-old Trent who? He played when? Yeah. So, but he embraces that. He's aware that a lot of these kids have no idea that he won a Super Bowl. That's why he's got a Super Bowl trophy in his office, so he can show them and tell them, yeah, I actually did. I kind of know what I'm doing. If you trust in me and believe in me. And you're exactly right. He knows football. He was fantastic on ESPN. He has been great to work with. Pregame interviews are a breeze for me. It's about 4 questions, and about 10 minutes later, I thank him and turn the recorder off, and we move on. So, it's about building the brand and improving awareness and all of those things, and it doesn't do anything but help, I would say, to have a Super Bowl winning quarterback running your program.
I just look. We don't do a lot of high school talk on this show. We do very, very little. But I did look and notice the last name. Is that the Kitna that I think it is? Because you kind of think that kids that are around Trent's age and players that he played with, you see it with basketball a lot more. But that last name, those kids are starting to be 18, 19, 20 years old. Is that the same Kitna, the quarterback that played at Illinois?
John Kitna's son, and Jalen is on the roster, and they have actually, I believe, gotten a commitment from maybe another Kitna.
Yeah, that was what I saw. The quarterback. Yeah. Jameson.
So, and everybody is very excited about Jalen. I've seen him in practice, and he can really throw it all over the yard. That's kind of a good problem to have. You got Jacob Zeno, one of the most accurate passers last year, and off to a solid start again this year. So you've got a good backup, and I would expect to see Jalen. Thought we might see him in the opener, but if, the offense wasn't exactly up to Trent's level, and so he kept the starters in there until late in the ball game. So we did see Jalen in the opener, didn't see him last week. I have no idea if we'll see him against Arkansas, but I do expect to see him sooner rather than later and get some series in. Hopefully it's not an injury situation or the fact that Jacob's not playing well. It's just a chance to get him some reps, and hopefully we will get to see that at some point.
David, we'll leave it there. I appreciate you coming on. We're looking forward to seeing you Saturday. Safe travels, and thanks again.
Thanks, guys. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, David.
David Crane, UAB play-by-play announcer. It is worth mentioning, and I thought I'd read about this. Jalen Kitna, who you'd mentioned, he'd been a backup for the Florida Gators, was arrested November 2022 on 5 child pornography charges, which eventually were dropped due to a plea deal.
Well, I was talking about
He's got
Jameson,
probation.
Kitna, the high school kid. I didn't know the other kid. Yeah, that's a bad deal right there.
He is on the UAB roster.
Yeah,
and that's something that
I didn't know anything about that. Yeah,
that is something that I know Trent Dilfer in the athletics department there has. They answered to it. They answered about it, and they said they performed, quote, extensive due diligence, unquote. So I thought I'd read about that with that kid, and he is coming in. All right, we'll come back with more halftime from Allen's Grocery in Summit in just a moment here on ESPN Arkansas, and Hit That Line Now app.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Your home is your
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks.
River 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gastons, a first-class time, every time.
This is Chuck Fawcett with Chuck Fawcett Realty. When I have a HVAC problem or a plumbing problem, I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940. Blaylock Heating and Air.
So to have a red truck rolling your way today, give us a call. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know. That's 782-8940.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
So hurry, joy. So stand back and
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Rolling on here at Allen's Grocery, in the parking lot of Allen's Grocery at the four-way stop here in Summit. Phil Elson, Matt Jones. We got the fisherman Clay Henry with us as well, Hall of Famer. Joining it. How far away are you from here? How long it take?
45 minutes.
No, that's next door practically,
but
right?
This is like going from Fayetteville to Bentonville for me.
Well, pretty much. It's just
not neighbors.
It's a little bit windier than that drive, though.
This was my place to stop when I lived in Fayetteville. On my way to Bull Shoals Dam, Lewis Campbell and I roll in here, and they got a great deli. And I'd get an apple for lunch, a drink, and sandwich. And I was in, as they say, tall cotton.
Ready to go.
Did you get inside the store yet?
Yeah, I went in there. I've been behind the meat counter. I'm set up for briskets. This is where I'm gonna start getting my briskets.
I'm in the presence of celebrities here. It's like Matt's got all these photos and everything being taken. They're bringing up one-of-one football cards for him. They're giving him shivs for crying out loud. And they're letting Clay behind the butcher counter. I can't get in there.
I was behind the butcher counter, behind the deli. That's where the action is, boys. I want to tell you, we're on a stage. You keep saying we're in a tent. We're on a stage.
It's a stage with a tent and a
Up
little
here holding court.
and a little delivery garage right behind us.
I've been through the delivery. I went through the back end of the store to the meat cutters.
See, he's got the backdoor entry here, Matt. I had it too.
All he did was roll his window down and follow the smell to get here. You know, you can smell the ribs.
Pretty much. Did you get? So you got to get inside. I don't know if he still has them there, but they've got what's the chicken company that's inside? Charlie's Chicken, I think is. Champ's Chicken. Sorry about that. Champ's Chicken. They have the Champ's Chicken mascot. There's a guy in there walking around with chicken legs, and they're his legs, and he's inside the costume. I got a photo with him.
I got a fist bump, and we blew up. You know, boom, blow it up.
Yeah, you got a chicken leg bump is what you got.
I did.
You got a wing bump is what you got.
Yeah.
Really good. So I thought about this this morning when, thoughts just hit you out of the blue. Alex Mortensen is returning as the offensive coordinator. I think the last former Razorback quarterback to come in to play any sort of large role from an opponent was Ty Storey with Western Kentucky, who ended the Chad Morris era with that last game.
He's coaching in Rogers now.
Right. I hear radio commercials with him on our stations. Yeah. That's the last time that of course, the transfer portal, you got to be ready for anybody to come in any year now that might have played for you, I guess. But that's the last one. Played a pretty prominent role, too, didn't he, in a change in the direction of the program.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm sitting here beside Matt Jones. I did an interview with Bill Montgomery this week. He wore number 10. I'm sure you know that. Taylor Green's wearing
You and
10.
Rick have had a little back and forth about number 10.
Yeah. It was kind of funny, and we were talking about NIL, and he says, I remember my first NIL. He was given Catfish Montgomery. His dad was kind of a legend, to hang out in the press box, invite media to play golf at Brookhaven in Dallas. But Bill was telling his dad that, Matt, did you ever get like $5 for scoring a touchdown or something from your pops? Did you ever like a reward?
I want to say we always had $40 in our pocket, but Pops, maybe after one game, I was like, hey, Dad, can I get a 20 or something?
Yeah.
Well,
I got $1 for a base hit.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of that going on.
Bill said that it was in the '68 season. He started hearing from his teammates if they made a big play, there was a reward from their dad. Like your leading tackler. Well, that's a 20
all day. Yeah.
So he was telling his dad he had a really good game. He said, I don't ever get anything, Dad. He said, we'll fix that. So the next game was in Little Rock, and he set a record. Catfish walked up after the game, stuck his hand out, shook his hand, those handshakes, put it in his pocket. He's on the bus going to the airport. He digs it out. It's $1.
Crumpled, old, sweaty,
and he's like,
nasty, torn $1.
That was his NIL.
That's about right. We had you had Bruff Hall, you have your student union, you have all your stuff that you don't need any money in college. That's the whole thing. If you got $40 in your pocket, you can do whatever you want.
Night?
Well, you got to date the girl that has some money.
She's
You got to borrow her gas card.
Picking you up.
That's right. That's right.
She's making the decisions she's paying, right?
She's rolling up into the Denali. You got the right one, right?
There you go.
I got $1 for base hits. I never hit a Little League home run, so I don't know what I've gotten for it. My father, growing up, his nickname for his Little League baseball team, and I guess in high school, was the Lasagna Kid, because my grandmother would make him lasagna if they won the game. It's just, hey, you get paid in whatever it is that your parent realizes you'll do something for it.
What am I supposed to do with these meatballs? I can't get paid in meatballs.
Pretty much.
Meatball sandwich.
It's like 1957. He would have much rather had 50 cents than a big plate of lasagna.
I won't tell you, if you want to eat good, go in there. That deli in here is terrific.
Oh, we don't have to go in there. They're bringing it out
Well,
here.
I had jambalaya a while ago. That was pretty good.
I showed up. There was a box of burnt ends right here. That's why I did not eat this morning.
Burnt ends is candy.
That's what I thought.
As good as it gets.
It was meat dessert. It's exactly what it was. It's like, and I don't know how many people around here eat sushi, but the eel. You ever have eel with the sauce
unagi?
On it? The unagi. That's exactly right. That's your sushi
I have not
dessert.
had that.
You got to have it, but you got to eat it last.
It's
the sushi version of burnt ends, and in fact, it actually looks the same in some
Little
cases.
burnt ends left. I'm gonna get me a little bit of that. So
I would
this
have
is
never
where
equated unagi with burnt ends, but here we are.
I'm set up now to get brisket here.
They almost put that barbecue type sauce on it, so I guess you can see that it's too fishy. Unagi's still it's still more of a fish taste.
Maybe do the unagi Pepsi challenge at some point. See if Clay can tell the difference. Is it fat or is it eel? No, these are not decisions we usually have to make. 877-377-6963 when you want to hit up with us. And of course that's a cauldron with what our gentleman here, the Cooking with Cajun guy, has for his jambalaya. That is a legitimate cauldron. If it was a woman that was stirring that, we'd think she's a witch.
A witch's brew.
He's a warlock of Cajun food. And in fact, he's got look inside the truck. You look inside the truck, I thought it was a paddle. I think we were talking about who got paddled in school. I think it was with the guys on the football broadcast last weekend. He's got a paddle, but it hit me. No, that's not a paddle. It's a giant wooden stirrer for his cauldron of fun over here.
He practices a little sorcery. He might not be a full wizard yet, but I bet he practices a little bit.
He's got the beard of a wizard.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
it's like he belongs on Lord of the Flies, not Lord of the Flies, Lord of the Rings.
Gandalf the Grey.
He is. He could. You put him in a gray robe. He could absolutely pass for Gandalf the Grey. And he's making this. He's basically making magic in that cauldron anyway.
You're not far from the White River. In fact, y'all were on the White River last night.
Yes, we were.
There's sirens on the river.
Sirens, as in singing vapors of loveliness that are calling to come over, like they did Odysseus.
Greek mythology,
right?
Yeah. There are sirens on the river.
Better stay away from them.
Yeah,
but you can't.
Just keep on paddling.
They can't. They keep you coming. It's not necessarily the voices. It's that they also have burnt ends.
They'll never let you out. You'll be stuck.
We're brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma. That's the dealership that served our listening audience in the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for over 70 years. Junction of I-40 and I-49, right beside the Cracker Barrel. Get a look online at CrabtreeRV.com. Back in a moment at Allen's Grocery on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
Did you know that almost 80% of all advertising is spent on digital? This is Dale Daniels, Digital Sales Manager for ESPN Arkansas. And due to the growth in digital advertising, we have the opportunity for the right person to join our team. Digital and radio advertising go hand in hand, and we're looking for someone to help businesses grow with this powerful combination. If you have experience in broadcast and digital marketing or business development, we want to hear from you. Email your resume to sales@hitthatline.com. Pearson Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushville. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushville. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like me.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witz Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witz Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors. Or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Put your hand down, boy. Welcome to my zoo. Put your head inside my big black wild I can still help you. See the snake back. Funky shake and smooth. Honey, can you spy the divine ape swine? 'Cause he can't see you.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Back on Halftime at Allen's Grocery, we've got Isaac here with us. Isaac is part of, I mean, this truly is a family grocery store here in Summit, right? We're celebrating 70 years, and it's been the Allen family the entire time.
Yeah.
70 years. I make the 4th generation, me and my brother Nick. Seen a lot of people in 70 years, got a lot of great customers.
It looks like they're all coming out today.
It's been awesome. I've had a smile on my face the entire day. Can't take it off.
Well, you're going to have like 3 more days to have the smile here because this is the whole long weekend celebration, right?
It will be a long 3 days, but very much blessed.
I was just talking to somebody about bull riding. Do you bull ride? Do you go fishing? What do you like to do around here?
Pretty much work.
That's
I work
it,
all the
yeah.
time. I got 2 boys. They play sports, basketball. We do that all the time. We're traveling everywhere. But no bull riding.
You get to do the bull riding once you pass the grocery store to your son.
I just wouldn't do it because I don't want to get hurt. You know, like how scary is that? You know, right?
They had a rodeo here last weekend, as I think there was some bull riding going on. Not my sport. Not my sport.
Well, we've got all kinds of specials going on here today, right? So people know about Allen's Meat, top of the list, right?
Yep.
Why is that?
Well, it's because Tony. He's been doing it for almost 40 years. And
Tony's your meat guy.
Tony's the meat guy. He's my dad, of course. He's a legend around these parts. He has certain nicknames. I can't say them on air, probably.
Is there one you can say on the air? Other than the meat guy, which is a boring nickname?
Yeah. Meat Messiah is a good one.
Meat massager?
Messiah.
Well, I was going to go in the meat massager aspect because there are certain meats that need to be massaged. I'm talking about behind the butcher counter.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
He's the Trent Dilfer, like the quarterback whisperer.
That's right, the meat whisperer. That's what he is.
That's a good one. Yeah,
we
can use that one.
That's a brand new one for him. You can have these nicknames free of charge, by the way.
All right.
So he's a local legend, though.
Yeah, everybody knows my dad from being on the radio all these years. They know his voice. He was the PA guy for the football team at Yellville, so his voice is known just like y'all's.
Maybe even more so as
yeah,
far as that's
especially
concerned.
around these parts.
So this is this stop here, the 202 and 14. Everybody knows this as what?
The 4-way stop.
The 4-way.
Yep.
I think I've heard it as the 4Y.
4Y maybe. Yeah. You can
4-way.
go.
Yeah. Hey, you're from here. I'm gonna try.
You can literally go anywhere you want from this 4-way stop.
That's right. It goes east, west, north, south.
That's
both,
right.
All
Just
4
like
of them
any
at the
other
same
one, I
time. Who's in the chicken costume? Is that a member of the Allen family?
That is a husband of one of our employees. Poor guy is a Tennessee volunteer.
Now, do you lose like a fantasy football bet to have to do that, or what goes into it?
He is getting paid to do this.
Okay.
He has taken a couple breaks. Gets pretty hot in there.
What, is he paid in peanuts?
Whatever chickens eat, I guess.
Let me just tell you, I've worn the furry suit for a number of organizations, though it's been a long time. You're usually paid peanuts to get inside that.
Yeah. It didn't take much to get him in there. He was pretty excited.
Well, I went up to the guy and I was like, all right, we need a fist pound. I need a selfie. And I was like, after the selfie, I slapped him on the shoulder. I was like, I know you're not allowed to talk when you're inside this outfit. Have fun today. And the laugh that he gave me basically said, like, yeah, they forced me in here. So I don't know if he told you one thing but meant another as far as being excited to do it.
Let me know what are you thinking about the Hogs going forward this year? You Razorback fan? How are you looking at this season going? What were your thoughts on last Saturday?
So I was working last Saturday, but I guarantee you I had the game on in the office, and I knew in the second half we were going to lose that game. It's just what we've been doing lately. But the offense looked exciting, and there is opportunities.
There's some talent on the offense.
There's
right?
definitely some talent. Yes.
Yeah.
So you felt it coming and started to believe that it was going even before they gave up the lead.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So do you believe in that saying about Hogs gonna hog and the T-shirt I saw yesterday about we almost always almost win?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what sport either.
It's time to change. It's time to change that. I think that trajectory's been going on too long, and yeah, if it's attention to detail, if it's the little things. I think the coach didn't coach, as far as the head coach made a couple bad decisions, and I think the players made some football 101 mistakes.
Yeah.
So you take that and you learn from that, you're going to be able to get some wins, but hopefully they continue to learn from what they do.
The offense looks so good, though. We're going to be in games 100%.
I'm going to tell you what's really going to do it when we'll start getting people thinking a little bit differently is a win over Texas A&M. If you win in that stadium against that team that's been a house of horrors and a team of horrors for so long, that'll start people thinking a little bit different.
You win the next 3 games, UAB, Auburn, A&M, I think there'll be some attitudes and minds that have changed a little bit.
I'll jump back on.
There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Isaac, we're running out of time, so say hi to the Meat Whisperer. I'll just go back myself and say hi to him myself.
All right, cool.
Thanks for having us out.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And for coming up here. It's Isaac Allen from Allen's Grocery, where Matt and I are here, along with Clay Henry. And, man, a lot of folks coming over from Summit, from Yellville to have some fun. We'll get into hour number 2 right after this.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barton. Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, the remnants from Francine moving our way, so we will see an increasing chance of rainfall, the heaviest off to the south, but everything moves north as we head through the afternoon. A high today in the middle to upper 70s. A chance of rain again tonight. The overnight low will drop down into the low 60s, and then a chance of mainly morning rain on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that will respect you. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. Here we go. Right now, let's go to the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
The party continues at Allen's Grocery in Summit. four-way stop. Great to be back with you here for our second hour, 1 minute after 12. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and still got C-Movie producing the show back in the studios. I think pretty soon, Matt, here at Allen's, we're going to be chewing on this beef tenderloin, which I've heard so much about from the Meat Messiah, which is Tony Allen, one of the scions of Allen's Grocery, family business, 70 years. You kind of got into the family business, football. I didn't get into the family business, which was dentistry.
Well, he did radio too, though, I thought.
He did. Yeah. He did. Kind of as a hobbyish sort of a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have done very well at dentistry.
No, I was on the sidelines at age 2, talking about a babysitter. You went with Pops to work, and I want to say the guy's name was Chip or Chick. There you go. But he would watch me, and then used to just get, hey, I want to go to the gym and shoot. You want to go. That was just kind of part of life, and that was just how us kids were raised.
Also part of it is just passing on a love of what it is you do.
Right.
That's, I think,
competition.
I got that from my dad. Do what you love, and find a way to make a living out of it.
I would have never thought, man, Phil. I mean, honestly, this has got to be the coolest job. It doesn't even feel like a job when you say that word. Jobs almost sounds like a 4-letter word, but when it's just man, it doesn't even feel like work. It's just the coolest gig to show up, get to work with you, meet all these fine people, and talk sports.
But
man.
it's a day like this. I mean, you do the show in the studio. I'm doing it at my home or wherever the Hogs are playing, and you don't get a chance to get out and be around listeners that want to come and be a part of what you're doing. So I mean, we had a guy come up and introduce himself and said he's been listening to these stations for 20 years. Now, I've been doing the show for almost 6. Matt's been on with me for 2. And my favorite part of it was he had to ask, all right, which one of you is Phil and which one of you is Matt?
We also had a guy come up, and his dad played on the '64 national championship team.
That's awesome.
How cool was that?
Yeah, and even family members of members of the athletic administration. KP's dad showed up, so it's a big part. It's like a community party here.
This is it. This is yes, sir.
Allen's Grocery is the place to be. Chicken tenders until 2:00, only 70 cents each. They're giving away tickets to see Pam Tillis, also to the Razorback game on Saturday, and this is a 3-day 70th anniversary celebration that starts today. They have huge deals inside the store here at Allen's Grocery. Got a couple of callers on hold, so we can take some calls. 877-377-6963 to get with us, and Caleb is up first. Good afternoon, Caleb. Thanks for calling. What are you doing?
Just another nice day at work. Nice and cloudy out, not too hot.
Well, you sound incredibly excited today, Caleb. I had to say, just bringing all the energy. Go ahead.
Well, you can't get too high, and you can't get too low. Otherwise, being Razorback fan is not too good.
Good way to take things, sure.
Hey, I wanted to bring up some things on that Jalen Kitna guy, just because I was like, whoa, this is kind of a heavy topic to just kind of drop into my lap here. I didn't expect that today while I was listening. Not sure many people did, but we should probably not just say somebody was accused of distributing sexual, child material, and then they pled out and didn't get a deal. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. And who knows, ultimately, what this guy is like. But I will say that what he ended up being charged with was nothing related to a sex crime. They completely dropped the sex crime aspect of the charges. And he was 19 at the time, and the images that he had were something that they found on the public internet. So a little while back, you might remember Josh Duggar here locally was sent to prison for this sort of crime. And one of the things that, I followed the trial. One of the things that became apparent was the cops catch most of these, sex criminals by directly sharing person to person through a, dark web sort of deal. And this was not any of that. Basically, something was shared and then reported to Discord. And then Discord then filed it with the local law enforcement. and then after, how it all goes. But the guy had to go through, a screening with a, professional sexual abuse, therapist. There's a lot of levels to this that led to him not being charged as a, basically a pedophile. And so,
well, and
he's
Caleb,
21,
I would
he's
assume
22 or
that the due
something.
diligence that the university said that they did about him also involved some of these aspects of the case that you're bringing up.
Right. I'm just saying, if I was 22 and somebody just said the university did due diligence, that doesn't wipe away in the mind of somebody what they just heard. And that's all I'm saying. It's like we should probably throw out there a little bit of the due diligence that the university probably did, just because this is a pretty young guy and that's a pretty heavy thing to wear around. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Well, I mean, it ends up being something that he wears around no matter what. He did, I think, admit to, something that he said he shouldn't have done. But if there was probation involved in it, then I'm assuming that he paid whatever debt to society the authorities felt was a reasonable debt.
Oh, absolutely. And again, there's a lot of details in there that probably, I'm glad that I don't know about, honestly. But, you're just listening to the radio one day and a 22-year-old is, accused of being a sex criminal, and we're just supposed to trust that the university did their job. Well, Penn State didn't do their job. We got all these cases of people not doing their job. So we should probably, I just felt like, hey, this is a 22-year-old kid. If they did their job, let's talk about what job they did so that, we can be confident that the university isn't just sweeping things under the rug like we've had before.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call, and I appreciate you presenting a little bit more nuance about the case, which I had. And I'm glancing at a roster of a team. I saw a name. I didn't necessarily connect those two things together, but when the name came up in conversation, it just sort of spurred something that I remembered reading about. So, but I appreciate you calling and adding the context to it that I might have forgotten about.
Yeah, you're good.
That's Caleb in Springdale. So Charlie is next, and he gets to go after that. He doesn't like the stuff when he goes after Eddie, which is all sorts of fire and brimstone. He gets to follow a little bit of a different topic here. So go ahead, Tuna. How are you?
How's it going, guys? Hey, Phil, did you get a chance this morning to listen to the Bo and Chuck show by any means?
Maybe about 15 minutes or so. That's usually what
Okay.
listeners listen to.
Well, let me tell you this. The Tuna brought it this morning.
Oh, boy.
The Tuna brought it, and he's about to bring it again right here, right now. What's today? What's the holiday today?
Today,
guys know?
September the 12th, I don't remember what holiday it is. Help me out.
Happy National Encouragement Day or something like that. I think they kind of did it because of after 9/11. That was the idea about it, right? Because of 9/11 and all of that. Has Eddie been calling in here kind of a little bit upset this week? Kind of been a different Eddie vibe this
He's
week?
I've identified that Eddie before. It's contrite Eddie. It's after humbling loss Eddie.
Yeah, well, Chuck and Bo challenged me. They put me right on the spot. And so you know how I do on the spot. Sometimes not well, sometimes good. But I did good this morning. I brought it. I came with it. And I wanted to let everyone know today, I know what happened last Saturday was frustrating, right? We all are still, but, hey, you got to let it go. And, Matt, you said something with the guy last segment that was on here. Look, man. It ain't what's happened in the past. It doesn't matter. It's time to change the narrative that we can't win these close games. It is that time, and you got to believe that it is that time. I mean, like, everybody has to believe it, and we need Eddie to believe it. Like, Phil, I'm sorry. I may just really dig a hole here. I'm sorry if I did this to you, but Phil, we need Eddie calling in here and screaming and being passionate and all those things. Now, not hurting your ears or anything. Of course, he can't really help that. But I'm just saying we need that stuff. We need people to be confident. Don't jump off the bandwagon just because they came up short in one game. And I know the narrative right now is, okay, they can't win close games and all this crap. But this is a new year. And I'm telling you right now, this team is talented enough. They can do this. If they do what you said, Matt, and get to 4-1, everything's going to change. And then all those people that, all those negative naysayers, and they quit and they do this, they're going to start coming back. The tuna ain't going nowhere. He's been riding the hog train for a minute, too. Now, not as long as Eddie, but I've been riding with this train for a long time, and I ain't going nowhere. The only time I've had to turn the TV off and think about drinking more during the game was when Chad Morris was here. So it's been a while. I say this, I'm riding. I ain't going. The tuna is here. Everybody needs to understand it's a long season. We're gonna figure this thing out, man. Stay positive. That's all I want to say. Y'all have a good
So it was National Encouragement Day from the tuna. Did you feel encouraged after that?
Let's go get it.
You ready to take the field?
He ain't going anywhere.
No, I guess he's not. Well, it was an interesting last segment here. And I appreciate Caleb bringing in a little bit more of the information about the Jalen Kitna case. It's tough to read too much, but during commercial breaks, you get all these sorts of people walking around here at Allen's Grocery in Summit, where we're doing the show today. We got to take a quick break. We'll have Bob Holt from the Democrat Gazette in just a moment. It's halftime.
Connor, all I'll say is truck, yeah.
I tell you what, I know this. Got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, we're the best team in the country today. And it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy, the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Pay attention. This happens fast. Routine, scheduled, maintenance. You know it's coming one day, but that day's in the future. Then the future comes, and your wallet's not ready for that $250 maintenance. But your forklift is. It needs it. Good thing you're smart. You're buying a used forklift from Medley Equipment Company this summer, and its first planned maintenance will be free because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm branch manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nuys work to give all of their patients a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5501 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farm. Now offering same-day crowns. 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith now has meal deals starting at $9.99, which includes an entree, side, and fountain drink. Try their delicious 6-ounce sirloin served with seasoned fries for $15.99. The Bacon Ranch Chicken Sandwich with seasoned fries, $11.99. Chicken Caesar Salad for $10.99 and more. Their meal deals also include tasty chicken fettuccine Alfredo served with garlic breadsticks for $12.99 and a cheeseburger with seasoned fries for only $9.99. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Should start with Bob.
It's time to talk with a unique individual.
You said you and Diva are OGs, old guys? Brett, you spoke so positively recently. I mean, did you expect this to happen?
He's a man of mystery.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky? Hey, it's Bob again. I think I'm unmuted now. I figured it out. Man, you win the lottery 3 times, get to go to Starkville.
A man whose incisive questions and rapier wit.
Hey, John, but I had a 2-parter if that's okay. What did you mean? I'm sorry. I'm not that. Man, we got to get the Packers straightened out. Losing to the Jets, that ain't in Lambeau, that ain't good.
That placed him on the Mount Rushmore of Arkansas sports writers.
What do you think about this?
Sure, Bob. The future in that, yeah.
Here he is, the one and only Bob Holt.
Hey, guys.
Bob, good afternoon. Got to be happy you finally got a game in Fayetteville. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's nice to have a game you can drive, a few miles to, and don't have to hop in the car for an extended drive. But I think the players and coaches are happy. They've got it's an on-campus game. I know Little Rock's, technically a home game, and the fans are there and all that. But yeah, you look at a lot of these schools. I think Missouri and Auburn maybe play their first 5 games at home in their campus stadiums. So, and Arkansas is dealing with playing, 5 different locations their first 5 games. So it's a little crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, all right. The thing that I heard Sam Pittman talking about on the radio show last night, and it's something that you wrote about today in your football report in the Democrat Gazette. He said that the team is a little bit banged up, but he focused on the idea that they're more banged up in the secondary than anywhere else. I know should get Cuddy Robinson back, but it looks like Jalen Braxton may miss. Hudson Clark, a couple of others that might be banged up and maybe game time decisions. So, it's injuries were part of the reason that it felt like Oklahoma State came back on them because of injuries in the secondary, and may still have a little issue with that coming into the week 3.
Yeah, Hudson Clark got hurt making a really nice play on a pass breakup, and he did come back and play on some special teams, as Sam noted, but didn't play. And Cuddy Robinson, he got hurt. It goes to show you stuff could happen anytime. He hurt his shoulder in pregame, and it went numb on him, I guess, and he couldn't play. But it sounds like he'll be back. And then Jalen Braxton, who's arguably their best corner. He's having, I think he said he had a deep knee bruise, and obviously Arkansas, they got to take all these games seriously. But I think if a guy's not ready to play in a game like this, where you're a 3-touchdown favorite and the team just lost to Louisiana Monroe 32-6, then personally I would not play him. And I know you say, well, that's how things like Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame happen. And I'm not saying Arkansas doesn't take the game seriously. I'm just saying I think that some of the backups at Arkansas still should be better than the guys at UAB, and so I think Arkansas needs to take care of its players. And if they're not, I think you treat it differently than you do an SEC game, and maybe I could say that because I'm not connected to the team. But yeah, it's not going to be banged up. Sam also brought up their first 2 games on artificial turf, and this is on grass and turf. Let's face it, whether it's baseball, football, whatever. You take more of a pounding, your legs and your knees and joints and stuff. And so I think they're glad to get on a grass field. Like that probably had, might have something to do with it too.
Bob, so what do you want to get accomplished this UAB game? Obviously, we want to win and get out healthy, but who is our RB2? Would you like to see Luke Haas get more involved in the passing game? Who is going to be our wide receiver too? What are some more of the questions or something you hope that gets answered this week?
Well, yeah, I understand this. This is UAB, not UAPB, but still, this is a game Arkansas should win. And I'm not saying they're going to be up 45-zip at halftime or anything like that, or a running clock. I'm not saying that at all. But, if you're already saying, you'd like to see guys go out and take care of business and so you can play some backups, in the fourth quarter at least, and then get guys out so they can stay healthy. If we don't know how healthy Rashad Dubinion is. He's a guy, Sam said he hadn't been able to practice much. But if he has been able to practice this week, and of course we don't know, the practices are closed, but he's a guy you'd like to see get going. Jackson's played great, Jaquin Jackson, but you hope he doesn't have to carry, get 28 touches or something. At least that's what I would hope. You want to do that for Auburn or A&M or whatever, and so maybe he can, have a good game early like he did against UAPB, and you can get some other running backs involved, especially Dubinion, who's a veteran guy. He's made plays for you in the past, but he hasn't been healthy. And if he's healthy, it'd be good to get him some work in there. You're right. Obviously, Andrew Armstrong came back in a big way last week. Maybe try to get Tyrone Broden more involved. He's a guy that's an older guy in his second year now. Tesla, who's going to be a team captain. And you're right, Luke Haas was kind of like, he had the big touchdown catch in the game at Stillwater. I'm not sure how many other times he got targeted. And I'm sure Oklahoma State was doing some stuff to bottle him up. But you'd like to see the tight ends, Tyrone Washington and Luke Haas get involved in the passing game. And then defensively, you'd like to see him get some pressure on the quarterback. I mean, the defense played really great holding down Ollie Gordon, and certainly, the turnovers really hurt them from a point standpoint. They really didn't give up, a lot of long drives and things, but they have not put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Well, last week, Louisiana Monroe sacked UAB's quarterback, Jacob Zeno, I hope I say his name right, 5 times, and I think had 5 other quarterback pressures and had 9 tackles for loss and forced a pick 6 and got a safety. So they were very active. And so you think, well, man, if ULM can do that, certainly Arkansas should be able to get some pressure on them. So that's something I'd like to see from there. So defense is get the pressure on the quarterback, get some turnovers.
With Sam talking about wanting to get guys some more time on the field early in the game, and I think he's talking more offensively than anything else. Now, maybe defensively too when you look at the defensive line, but I wonder offensively I don't know who's making the substitutions. I always think that it's coming down to the head coach has the final decision, but then the way I'm viewing how the jobs are doled out this year, I mean, I do view Bobby Petrino as like the head coach of the offense. So I don't know who's making those decisions as to who is on the field early in a game.
Well, I think the position coaches have a lot to do with it. Of course, I'm not in the meetings, but they meet quite a bit. And for the 3:15 game, I assume they'll meet Friday night, and they might meet Saturday morning to go over, okay, how healthy is so and so? How do you think? What kind of week did he have? Obviously, Sam Pittman and Bobby are watching these guys, but Bobby's focused on the quarterback. Sam's focused on the whole team. I mean, he works. We know he's working with the offensive line. He wants to go over and check on the defense, check on the kickers, all that. And so I think this is just my take on it. Obviously, Matt's been in those player meetings, but they meet and they say, okay, who do you feel good about? If who's good short yardage? We obviously know Jaquin Jackson's a stud and all that, but how healthy is Dubinion? Because how a guy feels on Thursday might be a lot different than how he feels on Saturday or Friday night. When they have dinner and talk or whatever. And so I think the position coaches have a big say in that. I think this guy deserves to get in, and he'd be good in this spot, this down and distance, or this would be a good place to put this guy in on the offensive line and whatever. And so obviously Sam has the final say. I'm sure when it comes to offense, like you said, Phil Bobby's very involved. But I think the position coaches, a lot of times that's their call, because that's their group of guys.
Bob, Travis Williams, I thought he had a really good defensive game plan for Ollie Gordon and shut him down. I mean, it was Travis is able to take what the team does and kind of cancel one thing out, and he does that really well. But That being said, you can always be better. You can always improve, and we're not going to win in the SEC if a team passes 48 times and we can't touch the quarterback. So, do we have guys that one-on-one can beat their man? Are we going to have to zone scheme them up? I mean, zone blitz them up? I mean, what are we going to be able to do to put a little pressure on the quarterback going forward?
Yeah, you'd like to. Obviously, Landon Jackson, I think he's a big time talent. And I haven't studied him, like broken down film, but I honestly don't remember him making big plays. And maybe he's getting a lot of attention. He's obviously a guy that warrants that. But I think certainly they should be able to beat UAB one-on-one. You're right. SEC is a whole different animal. And Travis is known as a guy who'll do some blitzing, and they may have to leave some of their corners out there in man-to-man. It also may be that they feel better doing that if Jalen Braxton's healthy, and if Cuddy Robinson's healthy, and if Hudson Clark, he's a guy who can play safety, nickel, and he go in there and help spell guys. Or do these guys have to play more special teams reps because of other injuries? There's a trickle-down effect sometimes when guys are hurt to the special teams. And so, I think in the SEC they may have to bring it some because but also they're not going to play. Well, SEC obviously has good running backs, but Gordon was a special talent, the Doak Walker Award winner. So it's kind of like we talked about last week. They stopped the run. We can't stop everything. And so if they don't have those turnovers and get their back against the wall,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Then,
you win the game. It's a different
but,
conversation.
Yeah, but you're right. They need to get more. They do need to get more heat on the quarterbacks because one of the things was if they do that, then the turnovers maybe aren't as lopsided. Maybe they get an interception, set up a score. So yeah, they may have to bring more people. And Travis is a guy I think it's proven he's not afraid to do that. And I think Sam. He's the head coach, but I think he lets Travis run the defense just like he lets Bobby run the offense. So I don't know if they do it this game. I mean, personally, if it were me and I felt like you don't want to show too much to Auburn, and maybe Auburn is when you unleash some things.
Bob, if I were to put in front of you the juiciest piece of beef tenderloin you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, my goodness.
Or a plate of burnt ends, meat candy practically, or a bowl of Cajun jambalaya made by a guy who's called the Cooking with Cajun guy. Which one are you going to eat? You can only have one of them.
Oh, wow, that's hard.
I'm sorry to torture you like this.
It has like chicken and shrimp, or what else in the jambalaya?
There was chicken in there. There was shrimp. I think it was both. I think it was both of them at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
And some sausage.
I'd probably take the jambalaya just because obviously none of that's healthy. But just to eat the red meat, which God knows I've had my fair share of red meat. But I'd probably take the jambalaya just to really spice it up a little bit.
What's it? He's got a nickname now. Jambalaya Bob. Works for me.
Thought it was Socialism Bob.
Or that one, right? Yeah. Bob, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk again next week.
Okay, you guys take care.
Thanks, Bob.
877-377-6963 when you want to get with this here. And a topic you hit on with Bob there, Matt, that I think maybe you can say, all right, well, they won the box score when you look at the yardage and all of that in the possession against Oklahoma State. They didn't win the box score in terms of quarterback hurries, any pressure on the quarterback. Don't those things go along with turnovers? If you lose the battle just on the box score alone of sacks, quarterback hurries, and turnovers, I don't care how many more yards you gain than the opponent. You may end up losing that game.
You got to make it uncomfortable for the quarterback. I think that's one thing, Clay, you had said that Bobby Petrino even brought up, our own OC. But when you're out there making a game plan, if you don't make it uncomfortable for the other team's quarterback, man, it's going to be a long afternoon.
They talk about in the NFL a lot, moving the quarterback off his spot. Got to at least do that.
Right.
May not have to
make
hit
him feel you. Make him feel you down at your legs or something. Yeah.
Make his shoulders turn, make his feet move where it's hard. And Talon talked about afterwards, Bobby worked with him mentally. You have to get your hips turned, like when they're forcing you somewhere. So if your hips are turned the wrong way, you cannot deliver it with any strength. You're going, say you're a right-handed quarterback and moving left, Matt, you've done that. It's awful hard.
that one play that he made, I thought it was one of the best plays I'd seen. He threw it back across his body and threw it to 5. And if we catch that there, and I'm not trying to bring up bad whatever, but you catch that there, it's a totally different ball game. But that's the type of athletic ability. They're all 12, all 14, 16, however many teams are in this league now. All those quarterbacks can't make that play that Taylor
No,
made.
and that's where Arkansas has an advantage going forward. There's some plays, and that's what Bobby, when I talked to him in June, he said he's an outlier. He's 6'6". He can make
4 or 5,
certain
a real 4 or
throws.
5.
He's 4
yeah.
or 5. But, yeah, Bobby's deal, very first interview I ever had, football's real simple. Whoever hits the quarterback the most, whoever can keep his quarterback from being hit, they're going to win
Has a
more
better
times
chance, yeah.
than not. And they hit Taylor Green more than we hit Alan Bowman. So figure that up in stats, and it's significant.
William's on our hotline right now in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He'll take us into the break. William, appreciate you calling. What's going on?
No, I appreciate it. I'm a steak and potatoes man myself. I love that. But I'm an old Arkansas guy, retired from the United States Air Force. And I remember the 77-78 season. That's the old Southwest Conference. But I'll leave you with this. I think that Arkansas has got a great team. I don't care what the naysayers say. You've got new players on this team. And for new players to be on this team, they really did a good job. I mean, yes, you got your mental drawbacks there, but don't lose faith with Arkansas, especially with Bobby Tree, Travis Williams, and Sam Pittman. I think this is a great team. I think a lot of people will be surprised, and go Hogs go.
William, thanks for the phone call. Very, very much. All right, we've got a break. 877-377-6963. Come see us at Allen's Grocery in Summit, right here at the four-way stop, and we'll be back with Clay Henry and more after this.
If you see a possum, try to kill it. It's not a pet.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Wait. Skechers put the S in comfort?
Yes, comfort you have to feel to believe. Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
You sure? Because I won a spelling bee in the 5th grade, and I don't think there's an S in comfort.
Yes, Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Like our hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear that's completely touchless. You just step in and go. There's no bending down and no tying your shoes. And they have Skechers Air-Cool memory foam for incredible comfort. Because at Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Okay, well, I've got some Skechers slip-ins. Here, let me try. Okay, I'm just stepping in and... Oh, wow. Skechers put the S in comfort.
Duh. We told you.
See for yourself how Skechers put the S in comfort. Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This is Halftime.
Did you know that almost 80% of all advertising is spent on digital? This is Dale Daniels, Digital Sales Manager for ESPN Arkansas, and due to the growth in digital advertising, we have the opportunity for the right person to join our team. Digital and radio advertising go hand in hand, and we're looking for someone to help businesses grow with this powerful combination. If you have experience in broadcast and digital marketing or business development, we want to hear from you. Email your resume to sales@hitthatline.com. Pearson Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixins. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I did a place you know that no one ever goes. Keep in the sock and reach, always stays close. I need an act for keeping out of trouble. You know, I don't know what I'm at, but everybody says you're not the kind that gets out of your head. I keep talking all these crazy, crazy words.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And I feel like we've been caught in the rain and a picnic outside, boys. Live at Allen's Grocery in Summit, where I guess this is remnants of, what is it, Hurricane Francine that came up from Louisiana?
It's coming.
This is the edge of it, right?
Yeah, this is a little wing.
Well, nothing can dampen our spirits or my taste buds at the moment, because this beef tenderloin right here, are you serious? Whoa.
So this is about 14-ounce slab is what each of us got. Seasoned, smoked, and I thought, well, we've got plastic forks and plastic knives. We're in trouble here.
You don't even need those. You could cut this with your finger.
Terrific. Starts out. Tony,
Matt's got a shiv. Matt, you might as well try. You might as well.
If I had
test
it, if I could desensitize that in some way, I would have cut with it. But man, the plastic knife was all you needed right there,
yeah,
huh?
And it's so good. I've got a dinner date with my wife. I hate to tell her I'm not going to be real hungry for my dinner date.
That's all right. You're not there for the food. You're there for the company.
I will be there to host my bride. You're right. But you go in there, they've got great meat. And I'm already set up for briskets now.
Well, good for you. So when's the next time you got to come back then?
Probably 2 weeks. I'm not going to cook a brisket for a little while.
And how many times have you used that new smoker you got? Is it a new grill you got? What was
It's a new smoker. It's
yeah,
a RecTech smoker.
Have you used it at least 3 times already?
I've used it 3 times.
Guys, we are making Jared in Greenville very, very, very hungry at the moment here. He's on hold. Let's take his call. Jared, is your stomach rumbling? You need some of this beef tenderloin at Allen's Grocery, but I'm not sure if you'll make it from Greenville, Texas in time.
No, I thought I'd miss out on that one. It's still tempting, even though I just chowed down on some chicken nuggets over here. But
got your Razorback nuggets?
Razor nuggets.
That's what you got going on.
I wish. Yeah, sadly we're not in stock here in the small state of Texas.
Ah, go figure.
Yeah. I was just looking over some of the kind of the team statistics and individual statistics of just across the nation, just to kind of see where Arkansas stacks up. And I didn't realize, I knew we were doing pretty good as a team on third down conversion. I didn't realize we were first in the nation. And conversion percentage. We converted 20 out of 28, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know, have y'all talked about that? 'Cause I haven't heard it.
What were they, 11 and 19 in
11 and 19
the
is-
last game?
That's the thing that interests me more than how they're doing against the rest of the country. But just because it's 2 games and I can't trust. Look, you're not playing UAPB anymore. They're not going to score 70
You got to
points
throw those
against
stats
anybody.
out. Those are fun to count up at the end of the year, but they shouldn't count in your average of how good this team is.
I do get where you're coming from, though, because it is an offense that has that. Man, I mean, I want to say efficient, but it wasn't. That's however many yards and they had 31 points, and you probably could have scored more like 48 last Saturday.
Chunk plays.
Right.
That's what I see. The potential for big plays is here. You've got the power running game. They'll be able to run play action with that. You're going to see Luke Haas be more and more involved. I think Jaquindon Jackson is the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep him healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overuse him. And I think that will be you'll probably see his usage go down a little bit this week, I think.
But Jared had asked about third down conversions, which, man, I mean, they really were efficient on third down against Oklahoma State, and I think, I mean, Petrino's got to be an aspect of that, right? Knows the play to dial up, the right thing. The other aspect though is they were 0 for 2 on fourth down.
The key part going forward will continue to be Taylon Green's ability to keep them out of bad plays, and that happens after they turn the 15-second mic off from Coach Petrino. I think that's what he did really good with Lamar Jackson. That's what he did really well with Ryan Mallett. Be able to slide the protections. And, Matt, I know you've quarterback that gets hit probably not running his protections very well.
A lot of times, and we talked a lot about this last year, when the quarterback gets sacked, it's always not on the offensive line. Sometimes it is on the quarterback, and that's why you want a good center. You want to have open communication. You want to find the way which way you have to slide the line of scrimmage. There's a lot the quarterback has to do, and this is what I've said about Taylon Green after watching him these first 2 games. I'm glad he's our quarterback. And each game, he's going to get a little bit better. He's going to get a little more comfortable. David Lee was my coordinator for 2 years, and Roy Wiki got here. The guy that he was Coach Tony Romo. He came to coach Arkansas, and there's a little bit of a transition. There's a little bit of an adjustment, and I think even more so when you have 53 new players on the team.
They have the ball for almost 35 minutes on Saturday. If you hold the ball. Well, if you were able to convert third down, your offense is going to be out there a lot longer, which is an aspect that you had hit on quite a bit to help your defense out, which did so much heavy lifting last year. Hopefully won't have to do as much heavy lifting. And keep in mind, like, the defense didn't give up 38 points. They gave up 31. There was a pick 6 in there.
The key in football is that you win as a team.
Mm-hmm.
The kicking game, they dropped a punt. They kick off out of bounds. They missed 2 field goals. They turned down a field goal probably because they didn't have confidence. Arkansas won in the glory years because of great kicking game. You can win in kicking game. You can also lose in kicking game.
And this is
That's
what you
part
wrote
of
about
the-
on Hit That Line.
Yeah, it's part of went through it with Bill Montgomery, the 4 tenets in kicking game, the don'ts.
And whenever you don't have as much talent, and I'm not saying we don't have as much talent as Oklahoma State, but this is something Coach Nutt instilled in us. If the other team has more 5 stars and 4 stars, you better protect the football. You better not have any bonehead plays. You better have hustle plays. You can't kick the ball out of bounds. Like this can't be a thing that happens. You can't be, as a gunner, protecting your punt returner. That's football 101. These are 7th grade mistakes. You can't do that and expect to beat teams with more talent than you.
And they'll use that. And I'll go into baseball for a moment. They'll use the idea of the small things, the little things. The little things are the things that are going to beat you. Somebody that made a bad turn going first to third ends up getting thrown out. Too many mistakes on the bases. Getting 1 out instead of a double play. Those are the little things. All things being equal, we're talking about the little things here. But they're not little. They all add up into something that equals a win or a loss.
Phil, what I worried about with this team kind of showed up a little bit in that 50 new players. Oklahoma State didn't have 50 new players. They understood what they were trying to do a little more in the details than Arkansas did. Arkansas will not be out-talented many times this year. If they can get the little things right and in kicking game, going to have a fun season. And I didn't know for sure when I watched last spring. I thought they might be more talented, but they've got talent at wide receiver. Broden, Armstrong, that's Satina. They've got playmakers. I think Bobby's excited about what he can do with this bunch, and then the ability to block, control the line of scrimmage. I watched the Petrino blocking schemes, the double teams. They're not trying to go hat on a hat. They're going to pick their spots and load it up, and they're going to have some seams for the running backs. I'm encouraged if they get the kicking game stuff. And in special teams, that's a lot of new players. That's where your depth is coming into play. A lot of these guys in depth are new guys, 50 new players. They'll get better, I think.
Clay, I don't know how you do it. How do you have such lucid thoughts with such a beautiful piece of meat sitting right next to you?
I already ate it. Now when your tummy is,
Matt, by the way.
When your tummy is full of good stuff, you feel better.
You feel good?
There's
That's
happiness.
Right. That's
There,
right.
I want to tell you that the burn-ins, I call that pure happiness.
It's next ice cream flavor coming down the pike, isn't it?
It is.
Burnt ends
Candy.
in a cone. Sounds
I don't
delicious.
need the cone.
What's that place you get to go doctor your ice cream and you get to put burnt ends on top of it?
Nobody
and they
ever
weigh
puts meat on
and
ice
they
cream.
Weigh, and then they weigh it, and that's
Why
how
are
you,
we,
there
why
you
are we
go.
not putting meat on ice cream?
Because it's candy. I mean, those burnt ends are amazing.
Yeah, and you get the hot and cold thing going at the same time. I think we've invented a new dessert. 877-377-6963 to get on halftime. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. If you haven't loaded up on everything Razorback, get over to the Stadium Shop, especially with a home opener. It's going to be jam-packed. It's right next to Baum Walker Stadium. All your Razorback needs are there for tailgating, game day, man cave, or dorm room. Doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Call 479-STADIUM or go to shoponrazorback.com. Back to wrap up the second hour of halftime at Allen's Grocery in Summit in just a moment.
This is halftime.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small. 14
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
RV Studios, Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Live at Allen's Grocery in Summit, Arkansas, we have Tony Allen here with us. Meat Messiah, right?
I cannot believe he said that.
I can. I came up with a couple of other nicknames that I don't want to pass. How does one become a Meat Messiah, and is there a burning bush involved?
No burning bush. You just, I can pretty well gauge stuff as far as what we're going to sell and how that works, and so they just named me the Meat Messiah.
What's your favorite product to make, and then is it the same thing that you like to eat as well?
So as far as the product to make,
like the
those
burn-ins,
burn-ins are great, but I really, really like sending out ribeyes. That's probably my favorite steak for people to get, and
it is the most flavorful, isn't it?
I think it is, yes.
That's what they say.
That right there. Oh, my. That tenderloin. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so you really are the Messiah because you made Matt meet God when he took his first bite. I saw the look in his face.
Religious experience.
Awesome.
He did. He said this was a sacred moment. So if you don't like the nickname, I'm going to tell you what. It fits.
It's a little sacrilege, and there may be some folks out there that I think that's very cool. But anyway, it is what it is.
Take the first bite. They'll know. So how long? That's obviously a family business, but how long have you been working in here?
So, I mean, just what I do now, 38 years. So I started working here when I was 8 years old. So I've got probably 50 in anyway. So, yeah, but it's just what you do when it was my dad and mom, then you work, and that's what my kids did the same thing. So
a lot of the same things that you were taught by your dad and your mom in this business and who they were taught, do you keep it the same traditional way? And then what kind of have you changed or have you kind of added that's your own?
So, taking care of our customers is the most important thing. That's what they instilled in me was the customer comes first. You want to make sure that every time they walk into your door, they have a good experience, and that's something that's carried on. I mean, we've expanded the meat department by a lot since I've taken over. Deli wise, the same way. But most of the stuff, just the down home values that they taught me, we still try to make that work every day.
Tony, what I have a sense here, and I mean, you're running a business, so it's all, it's trying to make a profit and make a living and everything. But it's, you talk about, the idea of hard work and instilling that with your family. But I get a sense of service here, of service to your community. I mean, this is kind of like a centerpiece of the community here. It really is.
It is. It really is. You know, and believe it or not, this little Podunk Hillbilly grocery store will draw from a 50-mile radius all the way around.
I believe
so. You know, there's lots of people. And you know, something that has helped. And of course, I should have been born in the 19th century and not the 20th or 21st century. I don't like all this technology stuff, but it really works. Facebook and our website and all that kind of stuff really helps us a lot. So
when you gave us our very own password and our very own Wi-Fi here, I mean, the password is mattandphilagreat.com, and it's just fantastic. I didn't even pay you to do that.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that until I saw the Yelcott may have done that, and they actually hooked this up for us today.
How cool.
So
how cool.
Thanks for having us out,
Yeah,
Tony.
thank you.
It's
Awesome.
great, and the meat's amazing. Simply amazing. Got another hour left in halftime. Come out and see us at Allen's Grocery. They'll have 70-cent chicken tenders for a little more than another hour right here at the four-way stop in Summit. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime, and we are right back.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel Crickhopper.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Don't miss A Night of Hope, an evening with John Calipari, Tuesday, September 17th at Pinnacle Country Club in Rogers. The evening gets underway at 6:15 with a VIP meet and greet and cocktail party for premium sponsors. At 6:30, hear Razorbacks coach Cal with special guest Joe Klein. Tickets, tables, and sponsorships are all available by logging on to TeamLukeHopeForMinds.org. A Night of Hope, supporting children after brain injury, September 17th. Log on now, TeamLukeHopeForMinds.org.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue Catfish and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, the remnants from Francine moving our way, so we will see an increasing chance of rainfall, the heaviest off to the south, but everything moves north as we head through the afternoon. The high today in the middle to upper 70s. A chance of rain again tonight. Overnight low will drop down into the low 60s, and then a chance of mainly morning rain on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. A minute after the top of the hour, halftime continues. Live from Allen's Grocery in Summit. The crowd continues to roll through. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Clay Henry with us. And we'll be talking with Brett Dolan in about 15 minutes. He'll have the Georgia-Kentucky game. He was on the call for Nebraska and Colorado. Still got another hour for the chicken tender special at Allen's Grocery. 70 cents each until 2 p.m. A 3-day celebration, though, giving away tickets to see Pam Tillis, Saturday's Razorback game. And got great deals inside the store. 877-377-6963 if you want to get with us here today. And looks like the rain has tapered off a little bit, so good, because as good as the beef tenderloin is, I didn't want to have to eat it while it was wet. While it was moist, sure, there's half the people listening right now covering their ears. Not a wet one, though.
This has been pretty cool. This is a iconic place for the state of Arkansas. But what makes it fun is the people. And you see people piling out of their trucks and cars and coming in, and they're just smiling. They know this is family they're shopping with. You see it's a family operation. 70 years, is that what it was?
70 years.
70 years, man. That's so
we got
good
invited
long time.
back for 75.
That's right.
So
We'll have to make our plans for 5 years from now. What is 75? Is that the golden anniversary?
29.
Or is that 50? Is
I
that
never
50?
have made one of those
I
yet.
don't remember what 75 platinum. Is that a platinum anniversary?
Maybe.
I see Arkansas Athletics releasing. We're going to have logos on the football field when we get there tomorrow. Tyson Foods and Walmart will be on the field.
Why not?
No surprise. I mean, everybody else. I mean, now you can do it. So why wouldn't you? As long as it says that the Razorback Sports Properties is extending partnerships with Walmart and Tyson Foods. I mean, this is different than NIL, way different than NIL, because this is a marketing. This is pure marketing going right to RSN, but we will see corporate logos on the field for the first time.
I think it makes a lot of sense, and I'm not surprised. It kind of heard rumors of that, so
I mean, it's not news anymore now because it's going to happen all across the country.
I still think they should go 5 and dime and have it at the 5-yard line and the 10-yard line at both sides, but they don't ask me anything.
Something tells me you're not even allowed to do that. Didn't they have to be? I mean, you had to, remember last year with
Alex
Collins passing and Ryan Mallett, you had their numbers on the sideline, but they could only be at like a certain spot. They couldn't have them on their exact yard markers, if I remember correctly.
This has been. I was thinking about writing a column. The people we've lost in the last year and a half. I mean, even count, with Alex Mortensen coming in tomorrow or Saturday is offensive coordinator. His pops.
I wonder if we do it. I wonder if anything's done just to, make mention of it.
Just to say, hey, yeah.
I mean,
we
Alex,
did that at the last Arkansas baseball game. Because of his connection Arkansas baseball with his son coming in, it would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, close friend. I'm just kind of tearing up thinking about it. But Billy Moore, just recently, it's just been maybe it's because I'm older and it starts to hit me. When you're 70, you start to see your friends drop. But it's I think that would be appropriate. I'll certainly think about Chris. During the game, I suspect that we'll see Alex pop through the press box. I mean, Alabama games, he'd always come up and find me before games, and I was interested to read that he kind of battled through a torn labrum, didn't even know it.
Here's somebody that knows what that's like.
Yeah, I'd been talked about his arm strength before he got to Arkansas, and didn't quite see that. Turns out there was a reason why, and we're a lot better at diagnosing and getting to the bottom of those kind of things. Kendall Diggs, same thing. Didn't think it was nearly as bad and torn badly in 2 places, right, Phil? And when we finally get into it, but yeah, it's hey, they brought out some more burn ends a while ago.
I mean, I still have a little room left.
I'd save room for burn ends. I mean, to me, there's nothing better. I'm just fresh into learning how to trim a Packer brisket and cook it and get to those burn ends. And my family said that's the best thing they've ever eaten. And I mean, it just really is unbelievably like candy.
What are we, about 2 hours, 15 minutes to Fayetteville, right? I'm headed there after there. Matt is too. He's not on the show. I'm solo tomorrow. Matt's taking off tomorrow because Hall of Honor weekend starts
I don't
tomorrow.
like to take off. I don't miss
But
a
you
lot
deserve
of days.
to for this.
I can't control it. I
it's-
think it's 11:30 to 1:30. I have a responsibility, so there's I can come on from 11 and at 1:30.
No,
But,
but the way that I view this more, Matt, this is an opportunity. This is an experience for you.
Let me add
this
this
only
for a
happens
second.
one time. I'm proud. I'm proud for you to be able to experience this. And I know I understand you don't like the limelight, but man, I can't wait to see you guys get introduced.
I showed Phil my shirt that I'm wearing. I got a fancy, snazzy looking shirt, and it's about as snazzy as this shirt. About as snazzy as your shirt.
You should have gone with the
Yeah.
Steinfeld puffy shirt I bought for you. Sorry.
So Matt Jones does not do this well.
Mm-mm.
This is not his thing. But Matt, you have to let us do this. Okay.
Okay.
Close your ears and
need
close your
this.
eyes. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about this whole weekend. We need this.
Yeah, that's true.
So we need Matt Jones. The people that came today, I don't know if you sensed it, Matt, but they need you.
Hey, I love the people, man.
Yeah,
That's
I know,
first-
but
yeah.
just remember, it's not you do this for them, and when they see, I noticed there's been some pretty ladies drop by. They don't look at me and Phil.
Well, you're taken. You're a married man. They know what's up. and
Specifically, some of those who are boarding their bikes over there right
That's
now.
just my
right?
type of
There
girl.
was some
right there.
biker
That's-
chicks.
yeah.
Right over there.
They
That's
said
right.
everybody has a type.
No, I think they're riding Harleys. They got orange and black on, but it isn't for Auburn. It's Harley colors.
Well, you got a great class that you're going in with. Raven Caldwell Jr., Alex Collins, Matt Hemingway from track and field,
Olympic medalist. Yeah,
Kareem Reed.
OG
I'd
from
like
New
the man
York.
with the best handles ever.
I'd like to see Matt and Kareem on a 2-on-2 basketball tournament against whomever.
Get out of his
truthfully.
way.
DVH, you're going in with Dave Van Horn. Devin Wallace from softball, David Walling, a former pitcher at Arkansas, and Wendy Willits, who's one of the great women's basketball players at Arkansas. I mean,
Great
it's a
4-year
great
player.
class.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, and I know I appreciate both you guys. And the guy that reached out to me today was Richard Smith, and telling me thanks. And I'm like, Richard, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't without you, man. Because he made a lot of big time plays. I had a lot of great teammates, and I think back to every year, certain players in certain games making plays. And that's what you hope to get with this team right here, because we have talent, whether it be Broden, whether it be the freshman Anthony, whether it's 22, if we got another running back. But we have guys that can make plays, and you're hoping to get there. That catch in the back of the end zone in the second quarter, if he just makes that catch, you're thinking, man, that's an SEC receiver catch right there. That's an easy catch for an SEC receiver. That could have been the play right there. Then, and the whole mindset, the whole attitude, the whole talk this week would be totally different.
I wonder if Saturday is kind of the breaking out party for Braylon Russell.
There you go.
He's that big back that has ability to make plays, and
They talked a lot about him being ready to go in August.
I think that there may be a wheel route for him somewhere along the way, because Bobby talks about his ability to extend his hands and catch it above his head.
It's a
they
big
saw that
wheel.
in high school.
It'd be a
big wheel route.
Yeah, it'd be an 18-wheeler wheel.
Be coming downhill on that safety. He would be. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of DVH and the baseball team, I saw there's going to be a big announcement of something at 2 o'clock. There have been some baseball schedules that have been released recently. So I'm sort of guessing we may see about what the baseball schedule looks like at 2 o'clock today.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some UTs on that schedule, from what I understand.
Well, there should at least be one of them. That's for sure. You never know, though, if you're going to get both of the T's, because we don't have divisions any longer. So there is no guarantee about this team or that team like there used to be. But man, I want to see Arkansas against Texas, and I want to see them against Tennessee too.
Yeah, me too. And that's and I think that those would be likely Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, so they can have a little national TV exposure. What do you think?
Those would likely be sellouts the day the schedule is released.
They're already sold out. They're sold out for the season. There won't be a season in my lifetime that's not sold out.
Well, they just start forming
Razorback baseball.
They'll just start forming the line at the Hog Pen later today for those games.
So I'm old enough now that I can say in my lifetime and just about cover everything.
Let's take a phone call here from Caleb in Greenwood. Caleb, thanks for calling halftime. What's going on?
How y'all doing?
Great, thanks a lot.
That's funny. Y'all started talking about that. I was going to ask you, Phil, if you'd seen the schedule yet.
I haven't seen the schedule, but I do have a sense in about 49 minutes we might.
Well, I have seen the schedule, and
Ooh.
I can, yes, can't say where, but I can confirm both T's are on there.
So we're not talking about Tulsa, right?
No, we're not. Yeah, not talking about Tulsa.
Oh, we're not talking about Transylvania. Good.
No,
I don't need
you're
to see that. Not
talking about
TCU.
the Shorthorns and Tennessee. And they're within 2 weeks of each other.
I would tell you what, if there's a schedule with Texas coming into the SEC and Arkansas is not on that schedule, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Let's
And
just
if that
say the last 3 weekends of the season are going to define where you're at as a program.
Well, we'll see about it pretty soon. Again, it's like 48 minutes away. It's kind of sounds. I know it's going to decide a good chunk of what my life will be like, Caleb. It sounds like it will for you too.
Yeah, that's why I figured you'd seen it, but I just wanted to check and say, yeah, check them last 3 weekends. It's going to be wild.
All right, thanks, Caleb. I appreciate you. Maybe I have seen it. Maybe I just don't want to say it.
Well, you're like the San Francisco 49ers running back. Hey, hang on just a second. Don't answer that question.
Is this Friday today?
Wait.
Is it Friday or is this Monday? It's 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
That's right.
You going to spill the beans?
I don't have any beans. They just gave me lots of meat and not quite any sides just yet. Quick break on halftime. Brett Dolan stops by from Touchdown Radio right after this.
This is halftime.
On second down, the give is to Felix Jones on an end around. Jones to the 30 to 40. Jones in midfield. He may go. 25 to 20. 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Felix Jones goes 72 yards. And the Razorbacks increase their lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
It's summer clearance sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Save 25% off summer casual and fishing clothing by Ariat, Rake, Hook, Wrangler, and Under Armour. Old Town kayaks and canoe, marked to cost. Save hundreds of dollars on the Old Town while they last. Archers, get ready for early bow season. Don't miss the summer clearance sale at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
This is Northside head football coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today.
Today, you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The people have voted, and Evans Body Shop has been recognized. Voted best in the River Valley this year and 5 years running best of the best independent body shop. We are so grateful for the support of our community. EBS has hundreds of 5-star reviews and countless satisfied customers. We invite you to experience a customer service level that sets our shop apart from the others. Call or come by today to see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Summertime, and the living's easy. Bradley's on the microphone with Ross and G. All the people in the dance will agree that we're well qualified to represent the LBC. Me and Louie, we gonna run to the party and dance to the rhythm. It gets harder. Me and my girl, relationship. I love her so bad, but she treats me like shit. I'm locked down like a penitentiary. She spreads her loving all over, and when she gets home, it's alright for me.
Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Head to the hotline as we continue at Allen's Grocery in Summit. Brett Dolan is with us from Touchdown Radio, Razorback Sports Network, Perfect Game. And did I see this right, Brett? While you were out there in the middle of the country for your Buffaloes and Cornhuskers game, did I see this right? You and your partner took part in a farmers fantasy camp? Is that what it was called?
Well, that was my naming of it. No, my partner, of course, is a Heisman Trophy winner from Miami who grew up in San Francisco, and our marketing guy who travels with us most weeks is from New York City. So Middle America is a rumor for them. So we landed in Omaha, and I took them back to the farmstead where I grew up, and I put them on a tractor and in the cornfield and on a combine. And I think they had the greatest time they've ever had outside of the big city. So we just gave them a little taste of what the Midwest is like.
Huh. Sounds like fun. Yeah, they think it's flyover country. Like, guess what? There's actually people there, and they're growing food that you eat. So let's get a look at that.
Yeah, they were fascinated by it, but it was fun.
Nebraska 28, Colorado 10. I saw a video, I guess it was from the Nebraska Twitter account this morning, of some highlights, and it started with the handshake. And at the handshake at the midfield stripe, Matt, Shedeur tells the Nebraska captains that we're about to beat the stuffing out of y'all. And then they went out and they did it to him. Nebraska looked pretty good, or is Colorado just kind of not very good?
Yeah, yes. I don't know if Nebraska is a 9-win team, but they're definitely a bowl team. Their defense is really stingy, put a lot of pressure on Shadur Sanders, and Colorado's not a bowl team. I don't see them getting past 5 wins. If even this week, I don't know if it's a guarantee they can beat Colorado State. They can't run the football, and they do not match up in the trenches with Nebraska. Nebraska looks like a big boy team up front on the O-line and D-line, and led 28-0 and kind of finished off that game. So it might be another interesting year for Colorado if they can't figure it out.
It's funny to think of it in these terms. You know, everybody needs to have a good villain. That's why we like when Brian and Ozark calls in. It helps to have a villain. In college football, usually the villains are the teams that win the championships. They're the undefeated teams, the big behemoths, the 800-pound gorillas. I think Colorado's the villain of college football, though, right now. Is that a fair statement, Brett?
Well, you might be onto something. I mean, this story this week that Deion doesn't want the band to play the fight song after a touchdown, assuming they score many, because they want Shadur's rap song to be played over the PA. I don't even know if there's some truth to it. I'm guessing there is. You're right, there is a villain. Now, they'll point out that, last year, and I find it fascinating that of the top 20 games watched in college football, they were 4 of the top 20, and that's counting bowl games and college football playoff games. At some point, I think you need to kind of win. I mean, I know they were 3-0 last year at the start, which generated some buzz, but I think they've lost 7 straight against non-FBS teams since. So they are a villain. I think to maintain that relevancy, though, they're going to have to win some games.
So you got to see Travis Hunter live and in person. Can you compare him to somebody? Was he the best most talented player on the field? What were your thoughts on him, getting to see him live?
It's fun, Matt. You asked me last week, Shador or Hunter, and I said Hunter, and I'm glad I picked that because he's fascinating to watch. Now, he's not big. He is a little bit undersized, but he is dynamic when it comes to catching the football and then playing defense as well. I don't know who I would compare him to because of the size. He just doesn't come off the field at all, which to me is continuing to be a fascinating story when you're talking about 130 snaps or whatever it is over the course of a game. But I think the question will be whether people like him more as an offensive guy or a defensive guy, or whether they find out a way to kind of do a little bit of both, which would only add to his value. But, he's probably a top 5 pick in the draft next year as long as the kid stays healthy.
What about Nebraska? They've got a favored son as the quarterback in Dylan Raiola. Second year for Matt Rule, maybe a little bit of momentum now with back-to-back victories. And when you look at their schedule, it's not the most difficult. They get Ohio State on the road, Southern California on the road. Not making any predictions on any number of wins for Nebraska, but do you think that this is a program on the way up under Matt Rule?
Well, it has to be. For too long, they were down. I mean, I think 7 straight years without a bowl game. It's hard to imagine a proud program going that long because you're talking about the likes of Vandy and some other Virginias and schools like that can't get to bowl games. And Nebraska has been there. Now, again, I think they've got a lot of the pieces in place. The quarterback helps. They've got 4 running backs. They rotate. If one gets hurt, they've got others. They probably could still use a few more skilled players. They made a few too many penalties in the second half. They're strong. They're tough. They were good defensively last year. They just couldn't score. They were terrible. They didn't throw for more than 200 yards in any game, and they've done that a couple of times already. I will say this, though. When they're relevant, much like if Miami's relevant in the ACC or some of the other programs that we kind of grew up with, it makes college football a little bit better. Those 90,000 fans in that stadium, they were turning out when the teams weren't good. It was a factor. Colorado couldn't call their plays. They couldn't figure it out. They couldn't handle that crowd and that noise. And from a college football standpoint, that was a lot of fun to see, to have an atmosphere that kind of felt like it was an additional player on the field for the Cornhuskers.
Brett, watching Notre Dame week 1 to week 2, I didn't see a team change more that I watched, and I haven't watched all the games. But what are your thoughts on Notre Dame? Was that just maybe they were kind of overlooking them, believing their own press clippings, and really didn't come out ready to go? Because they looked like an SEC team week 1 against A&M, and then I don't even know who they were week 2.
I don't either. And if you would have told me before the year that after 2 weeks Notre Dame would be 1-1, we'd say, well, sure, that makes sense. You'll lose in College Station. You'll hammer Northern Illinois. It was exactly the opposite. It doesn't make sense. All of a sudden, they went from having an experienced quarterback to a quarterback problem with Riley Leonard. And whether he can throw the football accurately, whether he's healthy, he's squirmy, he can run a little bit. But as far as throwing the football, I don't know. But because they had a path clearly to being between 5 and 8 in the college football playoff with their schedule, and obviously not being part of a conference keeps them from being a potential top 4 seed. Well, then you want to be 5 through 8 in the playoffs. You want to host a game in South Bend. Boy, that's really called into question now. And while I think 2 losses and there may even be a 3-loss team in the playoff, that did not help them at all. It just did not even look like a team that was capable of winning 7-8 games, when a week ago we thought they were going to win 11 or 12. I don't believe they're that bad, but they've got to figure things out from a quarterback standpoint because they had almost nothing offensively.
Kentucky did almost nothing offensively in their loss to South Carolina last week. I know you get Georgia, Kentucky, which at the outset of the season looks like, hey, that could be a good game, but man, I didn't think you expected Kentucky to just have such trouble holding onto the football and get rolled by a South Carolina team that offensively didn't really do very much either. So I don't know. That's going to be. I'm expecting an ugly one. So maybe you'll spend more time on, I don't know, like a Bourbon Fantasy Camp.
That would be all right. We might take that. You're right, because I watched South Carolina a little bit against Old Dominion the previous week, and I thought, well, Kentucky's better. They usually win at home. They'll find a way to get to their 9-ish wins again. Now, their first week, and I don't know if this has anything to do with game 2, what game 1 is. They started their game after 10 o'clock in week 1 because of lightning and rain. They played. Then they got into the third quarter, just started the third quarter. They went into a lightning delay, and at 1 a.m. they said, we're good, game's over, 31-0 with like 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. That's a bizarre game to handle. You don't get to play half of your game. They were leading 31-0, and they looked like a team that was kind of sleepwalking from the entire game against South Carolina, and so I don't know if the Gamecocks are really that good. So it's troubling. If you're Kentucky, you're not thrilled with this. And Bob Holt pointed this out to Mark Stoops on the SEC phone-in conversation yesterday, that now that there's no longer divisions, Kentucky's no longer obligated to play Georgia, and here they are playing them again. The last 3 years they played Georgia when they were the number 1 team in the country, and for a 4th straight year they're playing Georgia as the number 1 team in the country. The previous 3 years, Georgia went 8-0, 8-0, and 8-0 in conference play. I don't know if they'll get to 8-0 this year. I think Kentucky would love to find a way to play somebody else. But we might get a little bit of rain from this hurricane coming up through there. So I don't know if that might neutralize a little bit of the offense or speed, but we'll find out.
Gee, Bob, why don't you kick his dog while you're at it, or ask him to go raise NIL funds, because it didn't sound like that's something Stoops enjoys, and he does a lot of it, and he was public about it too. That was the thing that stood out, maybe more than almost anything an SEC coach said in the preseason, was Stoops openly kind of saying, I have to do this alone. I don't like doing this. It sounds like a guy that was announcing, I'm done when the season's over.
There's a few coaches that have been doing this for a long time. He's the dean of SEC coaches, and he's got a lot of Iowa in him. So just like Ferentz and the others, where you have kind of a system that you use and you don't adapt a lot, and you just keep kind of going forward with it, and you've had some success, which only makes you more stubborn as far as doing it. But yeah, it's a new world, and while they've had good success in recent years, we know it's a basketball school, so I'm sure they're trying to raise some money for Big Blue Nation on the hardwood rather than on the gridiron. And I don't think he's the only coach that feels that way, but not everybody wants to say it out loud.
Now, Brett, I'm sure there isn't such a thing as Bourbon Fantasy Camp, but we don't have to name names or anything, but I worked with some professional ball players, and specifically the managers and pitching coaches that I think would have been instructors in the Bourbon Fantasy Camp.
I miss those days, right? Going into the clubhouse with the old longtime baseball guys after a game and watching them mix up a little cocktail post-game.
Here, have some of this. I hated watching this today. You need this more than I need this.
How do we ever win age?
That's exactly right. Brett, have a good call. Thanks for coming on.
Always my pleasure, guys.
Thanks, Brett.
Brett Dolan, Touchdown Radio. I couldn't do Bourbon Fantasy Camp. I wouldn't even make it to the 3rd inning of Bourbon Fantasy Camp.
You got to go eat your meat first. You got to eat your meat, potatoes, get something on the belly, And I've never done. Have you ever been to Lexington and done any of that stuff before?
I did get a look. I forget the distillery that I went to with John Thomas. Used to be Baseball SID. We were there. It was the day before a series, and we took advantage of that. I mean, you didn't go on the Bourbon Trail. Last time I was there for any prolonged period of time, it would have been with the kids, and I'm not taking them on a Bourbon Trail. Not yet.
I wouldn't be the person that they'd ask to judge the bourbon. I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between Rock Gut and Pappy 15, but I'd try.
Wouldn't be a bad thing to do, like to spend a day on a rainout at some point. But we were just in Lexington for baseball this last year, so it ain't going to happen this next year. We'll just have to get Brett's report on Bourbon Fantasy Camp a week from now. Sounds like fun. Hey, don't miss a Night of Hope. It's an evening with John Calipari, Tuesday, September 17th at Pinnacle Country Club in Rogers. We're going to be raising money and supporting children after brain injury. The evening gets underway, 6:15, VIP meet and greet and cocktail party. 6:30 is when Cal gets up to talk. He'll have Joe Klein with him. You can go to teamlukehopeforminds.org for tickets, tables, and sponsorship availability. It's a Night of Hope supporting children after brain injury, September 17th, featuring John Calipari and special guest Joe Klein, teamlukehopeforminds.org. It's the home stretch of halftime at Allen's Grocery in Summit, and we're back right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Did you know that almost 80% of all advertising is spent on digital? This is Dale Daniels, Digital Sales Manager for ESPN Arkansas. And due to the growth in digital advertising, we have the opportunity for the right person to join our team. Digital and radio advertising go hand in hand, and we're looking for someone to help businesses grow with this powerful combination. If you have experience in broadcast and digital marketing or business development, we want to hear from you. Email your resume to sales@hitthatline.com. Pearson Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
People wonder all the time, where do I get my suits for all the weddings I go to? Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental. Rainwater's has dressed me from head to toe. So if you're renting or buying, your #1 men's clothing shop is Rainwater's. Experience the Rainwater's difference for yourself at 9700 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith or online at rainwater-s.com. When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you. Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, because it's fun to look good.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
In Harvard Square, smoking Mexican crowd. You gotta kiss a feelings and relax with a blue stars on the radar. And I know it's something you can do. But I'll be a big guy and party guys. And I'm delighted by you, dude.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime as we roll into our home stretch here, live at Allen's Grocery in Summit, where the party just keeps coming and the meat keeps it coming. And we've got, looks like we're going to have some winners in a little bit here. But first, I want to introduce Nick, who, Matt, this is the guy who made the burn ends, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you make the tenderloin?
I made the tenderloin too, yeah.
Oh.
He knows what he's doing.
Do you want to kneel down in front of him?
It's like he's got, I think he has his doctorate already. Yeah.
Meat doctorate, yes, sir.
We obviously love what you do, but, I mean, you got to nobody can cook a tenderloin this perfectly without practice, right?
That's right. Yes, sir. Yeah, we do this for a lot of events, and once the word is out, we get folks coming and they want to do their Christmas party or whatever it is, and we take care of them.
From when you get the tenderloin to before somebody consumes it, how long is the process?
I usually season it the day before, and kind of let it sit overnight, and then I smoke it for an hour, hour and a half. That one was on there for an hour and a half. Pulled it at 120. So yeah.
Nice.
What's your favorite thing to make?
Dude,
Like if you're making something for yourself at home, what are you going to make?
At home, I'm doing something on the Blackstone. It doesn't really matter what it is, but I'm cooking on the Blackstone.
You just like what you're cooking on in that
yeah,
sense.
Yeah, it's just handy. Yeah.
It's funny too. So I read an article that about Kirk Herbstreit's dog, and Al Michaels is talking about. Well, I'm not even a dog guy. I don't like animals, but I love this dog. He says I will love a dog before I'll ever eat a vegetable. I don't think Al Michaels has ever eaten a vegetable. He's as meat guy as there is. You are a meat guy too, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Do you eat vegetables?
I do. You got to have it all. It's got to be well-rounded.
That's good. You have you like all the colors on your plate at once.
Yeah, you got to have it. Yeah.
That's great. So are you part of the Allen family?
Yes. Yeah, I'm the youngest boy.
The youngest son. So were you basically told that you're going to be the guy cooking, or was this something you volunteered
it just kind of
for?
happened. Yeah.
In his blood. That's
yeah,
right.
Dad gave me the reins. He said, "Do your thing." So just do my thing.
So if he's the meat messiah, and I don't think he went, Isaac, he was like, I can't even believe he called me that.
He thought that was sacrilege.
I can believe that. Do you have any meat nicknames for yourself, or do people call you anything? He's looking at his brother. My brother's got plenty of nicknames for me. We can't say on the air.
Yeah, it's probably not good on the air.
That's okay. It's all right. All right, who do we have right here?
We got Tucker and we got Fisher. These are my nephews. These are Isaac's kids.
These are these kids are the future of Allen's Grocery,
yeah,
right?
they want it. They got it.
Are you guys ready to take over the grocery at some point?
Yeah,
Is this you will do that, right?
probably.
How much time have you ever spent inside this grocery?
A lot.
Do you spend like time there every day?
Yeah.
Do you cook meat yet? Do you know how to cook a steak?
No, sir.
Why not? How old are you?
It's hard.
Well, see, he knows the truth
get it
about
right.
this. But you love steak, right?
Oh, yeah.
How do you eat it?
Medium.
With my hands.
You put sauce on it, or is it just like, do you need anything next to it?
No, just medium.
He's good. See, this is like a 45-year-old man here who knows exactly what he wants in a steak. All right, so what are we picking here? We've got tickets to the Razorback game, right?
Yep.
All right, so you're not looking. You're not allowed to look. That would be called cheating. Don't look. Pull it out. I'm just gonna make a name. Let's see. Do you have a name on here you can read, or do you want me to read it?
You can read it.
I'll read it for you. Here, Nick, you can take that back. Thanks a lot, guys. All right. The name is Orville.
Orville Austin.
Orville Austin. You
All
see,
right.
they know their customers so well.
Yeah, Orville mows for us. We know Orville well. So
Nice.
They literally know their customers just based on the first name. Let's digest that for a moment. Where I grew up in the city of Pittsburgh, there wasn't a single person inside the grocery store called Giant Eagle that knew our names. Not one. And we went to the same grocery stores every week. So that tells you a little bit about Allen's Grocery. Orville Austin is the winner. I'll hand that to you, Nick. So he's obviously put his name and his phone number on that. He's a big Razorback fan, and he's excited to go to the game.
Yes, sir, as he should be.
So what's the next 3 days like? This is a 3-day celebration celebrating 70 years.
See, tomorrow is a little light. We're just doing the hunks of pizzas, and we're doing them from 10 to 2, and they're going to be 70 cents a slice.
Hunks of pizza.
Yeah, so it's a quarter of a pizza.
That's a hunk. That's not a slice. That's true.
70 cents a slice, and but yeah, we're doing that from 10 to 2 tomorrow, and then it's kind of lax. We'll have a little bit of like our sales going on, but then Saturday night is the big night. We'll have Cooking with Cajun back. He's going to be cooking across the street.
And his MF cornbread?
Yeah, and his MF cornbread. And, well, you're going to have Buckshot playing across the street from 8 till midnight.
Wow.
So it ought to be a fun night.
Dude, that's a shindig here.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you guys use the auxiliary parking lot, the second campus for sometimes?
We have the four-way, so it's actually going to be where the building across the street, diagonal from us. So that's where it's going to be for that. But
very good. So obviously this is going to happen after the Razorback game is over, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you're not giving away tickets and then having a party without a giant TV out there for everybody to see.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Tell me your on a level of 1 to 10. Where are you with this year's football team? 2 games in.
I'm excited. You know, a couple of mistakes away from being 2-0 right now. Things are looking up. Our offense is very exciting to watch.
What's the all three of you guys? What's the prediction this Saturday against UAB? Who wins and what's the score?
Ooh. You go first.
No pressure.
I think we'll win. I think it'll be 21-14. Our offense looks pretty good.
Dude, I'd be a little nervous if it's 21-14.
All right.
I'm hoping
we'll
something more like.
We'll take the W though, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna win.
Boy, he's got his he's working through the stats in his mind right here. He's looking at the rankings and everything.
I'm gonna call you my next fantasy football draft.
14-7.
Okay.
14-7.
I like it. Defensive minds over here. What do you got? What do you think?
I'm going big, 35-7.
Oh, I like it. 35.
I needed one of those scores
right,
because if
all
it's 14-7, next week is not going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It'd be a win like that. Maybe one of those wins would be like, what's going on the week after at Auburn?
Figure it out.
Next time you can make a bigger final score just for fun. No other reason, just for fun. Yeah, because otherwise it's
I like it. You both had the Hogs winning. I dig it. You know who their 2 favorite basketball players are, Phil?
Who?
I like to ask the young people who they like. Zion Williamson's one of them. Ja Morant's the other. You know, just 2 talented athletes that have captured the young people's eyes.
They really so good. You got your Zion T-shirt on. And he doesn't have another T-shirt on right there.
But he didn't hesitate. I said, it took him longer to come up with the Arkansas score than it did for him to come up with his favorite basketball
because
player.
He realized that people were going to make a lot of decisions on their lives based on what he said the final score was going to be.
That's true. We're taking the under this week.
Oh man! So are you you're taking? I'm going to take some of the. I want to take some meat candy with me for the drive to Fayetteville. I need a little bit. Just a little bit for the drive. So I don't have to stop.
Clay hooked you up.
We got it right here.
All right,
okay.
good deal.
What is the key to good burn ends?
Man, you got to let them burn.
Sounds simple enough.
Yeah, they need to render down a little bit. You know, I season them a day ahead of time as well. That's a big key for when you're cooking anything is go ahead and let them kind of marinate. But yeah, when you burn ends, let them burn. It needs to be tender. So
they're called burn ends. I mean, let's not make things a little too complex here. Well, that's great. 70 years. When are you going to be taking over? When is it going to be under your auspices? Heck, when is it under their auspices? Because we were invited for the 75th anniversary.
Yeah, and Dad's still going to be going, so I don't know if he ever plans on slowing down. I think it's he always says he'll either be 6 feet under or in a vase before he stops. So
At some point, you'll take over the meat counter yourself.
Yeah, I will. I just
No, you're in no hurry though.
whenever
That's
the day
right.
happens,
That's
yeah,
right.
I still like to cook. So if I take over all the way,
Hey, guys, let's take a phone call. We got Rod in Fort Smith who's on hold. Rod, appreciate your phone call on halftime today. What's going on?
Yes, sir. I got a question for Matt, but first, you've had your meat, right?
Well, there's more to come, but I've had some.
Okay, you can have your pudding, because how can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
Very well said, my friend.
Very
Very well
nice.
said.
Yeah. Now, does Matt, do you think this team is well disciplined, or is it lacking a little bit?
I do not think they're lacking discipline. I really do, but kind of buy into the fact that it was hot, and when you get tired, some of those little things, your brain starts focusing a different way. I do think a little bit of that happened, but no, and then I guess what you're saying is kind of special teams penalties, and then getting that late call defensive penalty that kind of hurt us. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a fact that they were tired, that we didn't sub enough, that we needed to play more players to keep you fresh, so you don't make those little mistakes.
Oh, yeah. If I'd have run into, the receiver on special teams or push somebody into him, I'd be riding the bench sitting on my hand the rest of the game. That'd be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's an easy one. Stay away from it. God's sake, you got to
Well, and the returner, Rod, as the returner, if you're not going to catch the ball or whatever, you got to yell Peter. You got to yell it so the guy serving popcorn can hear you.
Yeah, everybody in the back row and the nosebleed section should be able to hear you. Yeah.
Rod, thanks for calling in
Anyway.
today. Have a great weekend. And, one thing people will be looking at, maybe you don't focus on very much. They're going to be seeing who the Gunners are on the punt team right now. If Marquise Robinson is healthy and he's out there and he's ready to play, I think he's back at that spot.
And I'm not ready to take him out of that spot. It's just something you have to go back on film. You got to figure it out. And if he's the guy and he's that job, let's clean that up. You make mistakes, and then let's don't make that mistake again. Coaches that tell you make a mistake with effort, we can live with it, but we can't make that same mistake again and again. But he's given effort. Those are effort mistakes that you can live with, and let's just clean that up a little bit.
3:15 kickoff. We'll have airtime 12 noon for the Learfield pregame show. Will be a 10 o'clock Arkansas game day for your full day of Razorback programming on Saturday. If you're not at the game, you want to be over at Joe's Grilling Cantina, especially if you are a DirecTV customer and you don't know where to watch the game. They'll have it at Joe's Grilling Cantina because they have every Razorback football game at Joe's. New game day appetizers, build your own nachos with Southwest Chipotle and jalapeno peppers, or build your own guac. See Joe's and watch the games with pitcher specials, select beers, margaritas, and $2 Busch Light drafts. Joe's Grill and Cantina at 74th Street in Fort Smith, right across from Harps, joesfortsmith.com. Back to wrap up halftime at Allen's Grocery right after this break.
This is halftime.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Don't miss A Night of Hope, an evening with John Calipari, Tuesday, September 17th at Pinnacle Country Club in Rogers. The evening gets underway at 6:15 with a VIP meet and greet and cocktail party for premium sponsors. At 6:30, hear Razorbacks coach Cal with special guest Joe Klein. Tickets, tables, and sponsorships are all available by logging on to teamlukehopeforminds.org. A Night of Hope, supporting children after brain injury, September 17th. Log on now, teamlukehopeforminds.org.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Jam Mart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. Jam Mart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero Jam Mart locations. And stop by any of the 6 Jam Mart locations in the area. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. 5 halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Look at that. Women's basketball says they've got a schedule to give out too. And they've got their non-conference schedule that has been released. So it's a schedule release day. Baseball is going to have it later at 2 o'clock. Women's basketball is non-conference out. I guess we're just waiting on the finalization of the men's team because that's the last one. We still haven't seen a finalized schedule. We basically know the structure of it. We just don't have a finalized press release to say so.
We'll get times. That's the last thing. Yeah.
I think a lot of them are like Tuesday, Wednesday things too.
Yeah.
In the middle of the week, depending on what ESPN station decides to pick it up and when they want it.
I like the basketball schedule, and anxious to see baseball. You say it's going to have your gut is we're going to have both UTs, Tennessee and Texas.
We had a caller call up and say he saw the the schedule.
What about I wonder if A&M's on the schedule last year, you know, and then they had everything as far as the coaching change and just the battle that was last year. If they're on, I mean, that's going to be a brutal schedule if all those teams are
if
on
it is A&M, then that would be in Fayetteville because Arkansas visited College Station last year, and even though it's a new schedule, I don't think they're going to make
trying
it.
to
Visit the same place 2 years in a row.
I have a feeling Texas A&M will be preseason number 1.
I think you might be right about that. Yeah. The only question
looking
is
at their roster.
First-time head coach. Never been a head coach at any level.
Like the players.
Yeah, I do too. The players usually.
Are you surprised that none of them followed their coach to Texas? Not a one.
I think some recruits, but not any players that were on the
with
team.
the portal. Were you surprised?
So if you ask an Arkansas player, are you going to go to Texas? You ask a Texas A&M player,
That's
are
true,
you going
right.
to go? Matt,
Well, but what did Tua tell his brother when Auburn offered Tua's brother like $2 million to come be their quarterback last year, and Tua said, no, we don't go to Auburn. Yeah.
I mean, it's there's so much bad blood, and with players and families, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Well, we're about out of time here. Just want to make sure we thank the folks here at Allen's Grocery, Nick, Tony, Isaac, the entire Allen family, and those who came out to visit me and Matt and Clay from the Summit Yellville area. As they said, I mean, they draw from about a 50-mile radius, and it feels like we've had quite a bit of people show up here. They're celebrating all weekend long, and to me, I'd say this is a unique place, but the small towns across Arkansas, they trust their hometown, local, small grocery store, which is exactly what Allen's is. I'll say this, though, it's bigger than you think when you look at it from the outside. A lot bigger than you think.
Well, they got everything you need, that's for sure. You get in there at that deli. Boys, I've got a dinner date scheduled tonight, but I'm not sure. I'm full.
Matt, you all right? You feeling like you can eat anything?
Everybody be safe. This was unbelievable time. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Hey, I hope you enjoy this weekend for you.
You're too kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Matt Jones going into the Hall of Honor, so all of those events start tomorrow. So I'll be solo on halftime tomorrow. Clay, thanks, man. We'll see you
Good to be here.
Yeah, we'll see you on Saturday at the football game. Ruskin and Zach coming up in a moment. If you missed the show, it's downloadable on the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. For Matt Jones, for Clay Henry, and thanks for the folks at ESPN 104.3 for getting us set up. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears.